midway through the opening round. A bit of a right hand.
For those people who claim that Hagler would be awed by this event, this is the time when it would affect him. He would be tight in the first round and perhaps be hurt, as Duran hurt Leonard.
Eruptions as yet. Duran with a short left hand. Hagler with a left hand. Hagler's having no problem moving Duran. Hagler comes from downstairs with an uppercut. Less than a minute to go. Hagler with a left hand. Duran with a left to the head. Hagler with a right. Duran with a short right hand in the face of Hagler. Hagler with a big left hand that rocked Duran. Duran with a right uppercut.
There's the jab and the left hand. While Hagler hasn't landed much, Duran's going for all those feints.
Right hand by Duran. Hagler with a left to the body. That backed up Duran for an instant. A big... A right to the body by Duran, but he paid the price.
In the brief time he's changed right, he's fought well against Duran.
In the workouts every day, Hagler fought several rounds, just led by the cheers of the crowd.
Good
Hagler with a right hand. Hagler comes back with a straight left to the head. Duran with a whack.
That's something they're both noted for.
Right hand by Duran, and that was right on the chin of Hagler. Put Duran off balance and wide open for the shot. Duran with a right hand by Hagler from the orthodox stance. Hagler with a left hook to the head. Duran still coming forward. Big right hand by Hagler from the righty stance. That was his best punch. Duran earlier in the fight. Duran is flat-footed, breathing hard. Less than 30 seconds to go in the sixth.
He's finding out how powerful Hagler is.
Hagler with the left hand. Another left hand. In between, Duran missed with an uppercut. Hagler with a left hook.
And the one who's been dominant when they are inside. Good lead right by Hagler.
And you can hear that. Hagler pushing Duran to a fast pace here. He wants Duran to work hard. Hagler out-punching Duran.
Punches in with the right.
We are approaching the halfway mark of the fight. Al, I want your impressions about how one man has been able to prevail.
Now Hagler turns to righty, and watch how effective he is when he turns to this stance.
He made a pivot move and brought that left hook. Hagler's ability to punch and bunch it. Hard jab there by Hagler. Yet another one. A countering right hand by Duran.
Use that often.
Hagler looks like he's ready to accommodate.
Hagler slipping the jabs and pounding the body of Roberto Duran. No indication that Hagler is slowing the tempo. Good counter hook by Duran. It has no impact on Hagler.
Hagler threw a lead left hand, and Duran came with that.
Hagler continues also to work the body very effectively. This fight has ebbed and flowed on a number of different occasions. Right now, again, it's a chess match as they look for an opening. Good jab.
They just banged heads. Hagler. Duran has slowed down somewhat. Chopping right hand by Duran, another one.
Here in round 10.
And a right hand by Duran, just when he was backing up.
Well, he's still upright anyway, and that gives him a chance.
A hard left hand by Hagler. Duran came back with his own right. And it appears right now that Duran cannot hurt Hagler. Hagler with a big left hand at the bell. Right hand by Duran.
Hagler took a breather in the last round, but not in round 12.
Hagler is back on the inside, takes a right hand as contrasted against the previous round, the 11th. Left hook by Duran to the head of Hagler.
He has certainly picked up the pace on the inside, what we expected early from him.
Duran with a right uppercut. There's swelling underneath the eye, the left eye of Hagler.
This is starting to have some of the earmarks.
Connected with right hands. This is Duran's best round.
Good uppercut.
with the left hand, an uppercut. As if to say, come on, hit me. Hagler with the left hand. Roberto with the right. Duran looking to unload the right hand. Hagler punishes him with a couple of hard.
They don't want him looking for one knockout punch.
Since Carlos Monzon. Right hand, his toughest challenge in his 4-year reign as middleweight champion. And Duran has fooled the experts again.
In this round, Hagler, I think.
Right hand by Duran. Hagler came with a right hook. Duran paws at him in the stain. Duran with a chopping right hand. And swelling underneath on the cheekbone. We're into the 14th.
Good uppercuts by Hagler.
In the first 20 seconds. Right hand.
He may be sticking his mouthpiece out, but Hagler, I think, has done most of the scoring. It's been Hagler on the inside dominating the action, as you see him doing right there.
Hagler with a strong right hook to the head. Hagler knows he's cut. He's had an exceptional round. Big left hand by Hagler on the chin of Duran, on the left eyebrow of Hagler. Duran now sensing that we only have a few ticks left on the clock, trying to get close enough, but it's all Hagler down the stretch. Hagler with a big right hook and a left cross.
Doubt about this decision. He certainly must be cementing it here in this 15th round. Ripping to the head of Roberto Duran.
20-odd seconds to go in the fight. Left hand by two warriors, two champions, going the full 15 rounds. Hands of stone turned out to be a formidable opponent, and he rocks Hagler with the right hand, Hagler with the left, as we head for the belt.
Unanimous decision, and still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout of the evening is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Art Lurie, Chairman, and by the World Boxing Council, Jose Suleiman, President. The officials are signed by those two governing bodies. The judges are Newton Campos of Brazil, Harry Gibbs of England, and Hans Desvert of Belgium. The timekeeper is Charlie Roth. Counting at the knockdown, Jane Broadfoot. And the referee is Carlos Padilla. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the Super Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing, in the red corner, the challenger, fighting out of Panama City, Panama, weighing an even 154 pounds. He has a professional record of 77 wins, 5 defeats, with 58 knockouts. He has held 3 world titles in his career. He is a man with the hands of stone, Roberto Duran. And in the blue corner, the WBC Super Welterweight Champion, fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, weighing in 153 1/4 pounds. His professional record consists of 38 wins, 1 defeat, with 32 KOs. No longer is he called the Motor City Cobra. He has returned as Thomas, the Hitman Hearns.
Thomas Hearns and Roberto Duran, effectively 2 champions at 154 pounds. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for tonight's bout. Thomas Hearns came in right at the limit of 154 pounds as we see the referee Carlos Padilla giving the instructions, and Roberto Duran at 153 1/4. Of course, the reach advantage goes to Thomas Hearns with 78 inches to 67 inches for Roberto Duran. The age factor, well, could be one. Thomas Hearns, certainly in his prime at 25, however, has had only 2 fights in the last 2 years because of hand injuries. Roberto Duran will be 33 years old tomorrow. The fact that he's had to come down from weights up to close to 190 pounds to get to 154 The older he gets, the tougher that task must prove, and the effect of it over 12 rounds may be seen tonight. Round number 1. Carlos Padilla is the referee. He will not score. Harry Gibbs from England, Newton Campos from Brazil, Hans de Beer from Belgium will be the scoring judges on the 10-point must system. 9 or fewer points to the loser of a round.
Tim, Roberto Duran has a real heavy beard. In most states, that's illegal. I'm surprised that Emmanuel Stewart didn't complain to the commission about that.
Well, Thomas Hearns has a real light beard, so well, so far the beard championship has gone to Roberto. But your point is quite well taken, Gil, and we'll see if it has an effect that you can pick up in terms of Hearns landing his blows to the face of Duran. Tentative here in the early going, and Duran having a little problem with the canvas in this early going, has already slipped a little bit twice. .90 degrees at the time of the bell for the first round here in Las Vegas, with the sun starting to sink in the west. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy, round 1 scheduled for 12, remember, under WBC rules, a 12-round title bout.
Tim, Tommy Hearns should be working that jab overtime. Instead, he's looking to land the big bomb, and he landed one. A
good right hand to the ear of Duran that sent him back into the ropes. Of course, the Macho Duran quickly saying, "It didn't hurt me." There's that left jab of Hearns backing up Roberto Duran.
Well, Duran is making the mistake, Tim, of standing straight up. He's fighting a tall guy. He should get lower. He's not going to be able to reach up to Hearns. He's got to slip the punches, get underneath him. Can't get his head moved back with that jab, or he's really going to get nailed.
Under a minute to go, and Duran slipped. However, there is blood over the left eye of Roberto Duran. A slice, it looks like it's on the eyelids in the corner of the left eye of Roberto Duran. And Hearns is backing Roberto Duran up at will. A solid right, and down goes Duran. Duran is on the canvas and looks stunned. Hit to his feet, but he's staggering. He's hurt. Approaching the 22nd mark remaining, and we're in round number 1.
He's bothered by that cut eye, Tim. He's very seldom ever been cut in a fight.
Hearns lands a combination, and Duran waving at him to come at him, but meanwhile taking punishment. Down he goes again.
That's going to save him, Tim. That's by the fact that he went down, the bell is going to ring.
Got quickly to his feet at the end of the first round, and he must finish the 8 count, and there's the bell that ends round number 1. The bell does not end the round, and he went to the neutral corner. Roberto Duran went to the neutral corner. He did not realize where his corner is, so Duran is in deep trouble. Thomas Hearns with a vicious attack.
Let's look at that first knockdown, Tim. Here's Roberto Duran standing straight as a stick right in front of Tommy Hearns. Hearns is measuring him now, weaves a little bit, and bang, right on the chin with a good right hand.
Tremendous shot by Thomas Hearns, and he immediately had Duran in trouble again, knocking him back into the ropes, and Duran goes down one more time in this first round.
Tim, he knows he has a hurt daily, and he's going for throwing caution to the wind and just throwing punches in bunches. Duran is really in trouble now, Tim, leaning back, trying to get away. Where can he hide? He can't. Those punches are coming fast as lightning. A tremendous body punch. Another body punch lifts him right off his feet, Tim, and down again. Here comes Tommy Hearns out now, Tim. He knows he's still in trouble. He's going to try to finish him off right now.
We're now into round number 2. Thomas Hearns moves quickly to the center of the ring. A cut on the left eyelid of Roberto Duran. Whether Duran can survive the knockdowns of round 1. It remains to be seen. He looks still a little wobbly to me, Jim.
He's still straight up in the air, Tim. You have to get low when you fight a fighter like Tommy Hearns.
Good left and a right behind it by the champion. Duran in trouble again in his corner. Has not hung on at all. Now, finally, he grabs Hearns. Hearns got several free shots with Roberto.
He's wobbly, Tim. His legs are still wobbly.
Trying to cover up. Another solid right hand by Thomas Hearns in a combination. The referee Padilla watching.
There he's up in the air again.
Duran just just fighting on instinct, O'Gill. He's just hanging a big right hand.
That's it, Tim. Anytime you fall forward, the fight's over, Tim.
A huge right hand by Thomas Hearns, right to the cheekbone of Roberto Duran, and it is all over. A second-round knockout for the hitman, Thomas Hearns, who said he would knock out Duran in 2, and he did just that.
He sure did, Tim. We've said so many times before, a fighter can go into the ring and he can age overnight, and that's exactly what happened to Roberto Duran. He didn't have it from the open.
For these fights, and here we go, round 1. Hagler, right off the bat, attempting to get inside. He'd love to be able to pin Hearns on the ropes if he can.
A more aggressive start by Hagler. Look at him, right for the body. Marvin Hagler only wants the body, and he bangs Marvin. Oh, Hearns may have hurt him with a right hand.
Hearns with another right. Hearns hits him with an uppercut. Hagler, he's hurt. Hagler is stunned. Hearns got inside. Hit him with a right uppercut. Marvin ties him up.
Marvin Hagler is still hurt.
So it was Hagler coming out like a bullet. A good left by Hagler, but Hearns didn't flinch. Marvin going for the body. Wild first round.
Wow, what a shot. And it was Hagler who initiated it, not Thomas Hearns.
On a left by Hagler. Hearns comes back. Another right. That one stunned Hearns. What a first minute of the fight.
Tommy Hearns has been able to drop that right hand in, and it has hurt Hagler, a surprise to many people.
Another right hand from Hearns. Hearns moving. Hagler still pursuing. Comes in with a right. Mixing with a left hook.
Here's where I believe Hagler should turn to righty. He could block that right hand easier, and he would land his own left hook.
Hearns with a devastating punch. Swelling near Hagler's left eye. Again, Tommy trying to come inside the hands of Hagler.
Low blow by Hearns. Hagler's still looking for the body.
A right by Hagler. Good right got in. He has Hearns where he'd love to keep him on the ropes, but Tommy comes off easily. Another good right by Hearns.
Hagler is now shaking those right hands off, though, Al. He was stunned a little early, and he's normally a slow starter.
He's also bleeding. Hagler is cut. Hagler is cut. Bridge of the nose.
Hagler hitting him low. He is banging the body well. He is taking shots to the head.
He blocks that right. Hearns tries to come in with the uppercut, and Hagler ties him up with a minute to go in a wild first round. Marvin with a good left hand.
There's blood all over Marvin Hagler's face. Can't tell where it's coming from.
I thought it started from the bridge of the nose originally, but blood all over the face of Hagler here in round 1. But Hagler has him on the ropes. Hagler working on him. Hagler relentless, but Hearns trying to box his way out. Half a minute to go in round 1. How far can this one go? Not very far at this pace.
This is where Hagler wants him, but Hearns counter-punching off those ropes fairly effectively.
Tremendous first round. Hagler pinning him to the rope, working on him, but Hearns uppercutting again. Hagler bloody. A tremendous, sensational first round as Hearns gets hurt. Hearns got stunned. Hagler was stunned early in the round. Great first round.
Wow.
Incredible.
Perhaps one of the best in middleweight history. Surprise early.
Well, the first round lived up to all the hype, and then some. Round 2 now.
Oh.
Left hand by Hagler.
They said this fight would be determined on heart and the good chin. Right now, that's exactly what it's being determined on. Both men have been hurt. You can throw the strategy out the window right now.
A wild first round. Hearns again trying to uppercut. Hearns trying to box. Moving. Slipping off the ropes. Coming back and trying to land that right.
They are yelling, keep boxing, Tommy, from his corner, and that looks like what he's going to try and do in this fight.
Hearns off balance. His foot was stepped on, not close to a knockdown.
Excuse me, Al. Hagler turns righty. I think this could be a key moment in this fight.
For the first time, Hagler switching, gets in with a left hand. This round sort of the way people anticipated the first round might go. Another right hand stuns Hearns. The crowd, of course, emphatic over every punch that's thrown. Hagler, despite that lead disadvantages, has been able to get into Hearns more so than I think most people expected.
For one simple reason, good left hook by Hagler. He took the best Hearns could offer, and he did come in. He's getting through that right hand, even though he's getting hit with it.
Halfway through round 2.
Hagler has fought most of this round as a righty. Now he switches southpaw and lands. Not as effective as a righty as I thought, but now as a southpaw, the jab lands well.
That right jab. Hagler coming in with a left. Richard Steele saying, punch your way out, punch your way out.
A key element now is Hagler is working when he's on the inside. He's not just holding, he is working the body of Tommy Hearns. Boy, Hearns looks awkward, and his legs look like they're not there.
A little rubbery here in round 2. Tommy, though, fluid and moving. Trying to get inside again. The cut opens up over Hagler's forehead. And the blood begins to trickle down. Hagler working inside, now up top. Half a minute to go in round 2.
What a left.
Hearns trading with him. Hagler comes back to the right or left, and another right. He has Hearns in trouble on the ropes. Tommy trying to punch his way off the ropes. Hagler wants to keep him there. Goes to the body.
Hagler throws low blows. Marvin Hagler wants to turn this into an alley war, and he's done it. Another low blow. Richard Steele may take points away soon, but will it matter?
Second round coming to an end. Hagler bloody, but very much unbowed. End of round 2. Again, Stewart telling Hearns to box. As you say, though, Hagler turning it into a street fight.
Well, he turns righty. He wants it to be a street fight. Listen, Marvin Hagler has been rough inside. He's thrown some low blows. He has thrown some elbows.
Don't push.
But you know what? Now the right is getting there, but it's not hurting Hagler. We've got our answer, I think, to some extent. Tommy has been hard-pressed to hurt him with that right. Stunned him early, but not in the last round or two.
Very early. Had him stunned, has him cut. But it was Hagler doing the damage in round 2.
And now, just as we thought might happen, Tommy Hearns was hurt early, so he is boxing. Now, he has good boxing skills. He did this against Sugar Ray. Can Hagler get to him in this posture?
Some people thought, as he again becomes off balance, some thought that if Hearns stayed outside and stayed on his bicycle, it would become a dull fight with Marvin chasing him.
But Marvin has been able to corner him, and when Marvin gets him in the corner, he is roughhousing him well.
Again, Hagler is all bloodied. Time is called by Richard Steele to send Hagler over to the ring doctor. He's calling the ring doctor in. The last thing in the world Hagler wants is the fight to be stopped. The doctor looks at it. Back comes Hagler with a wild left hand. It has to be impeding his vision with the right eye. You never know it, though. Tremendous right. Hearns appears rubbery. He appeared that way in the second round.
You know, Richard Steele is breaking these fighters very quickly. That's uncharacteristic of him. It's hurting Hagler because he wants to work inside. Hearns is smiling, but he's taking shots.
Another right hand. Hearns turns his back, takes another right. Hearns in deep trouble again. Hearns is down. Hearns is down in the third round and on his back. And he's not going to beat the count. I don't believe. Tommy Hearns tries to get up, and
They've got to stop this fight.
Does he get up? He just doesn't know. He can't continue. It's Hagler, full of blood. Blood, no doubt, impeding his vision, stopping him in the third round after Hearns almost ended it on a first-round knockout. It didn't go very far, but it was a beauty.
And Tommy Hearns predicted a knockout in the third. Instead, it is Marvin Hagler, and we certainly hope Tommy Hearns will be all right. He is still wobbly. What a shock. Instead of Hearns initiating wild early action, it is this man who, believe me, has gained any redemption he needed from the loss to Roberto Duran.
Let's get it on. Come on.
Let's get it on. All right. If he lands, yes, anything's possible. We might have Hagler in our lap. He blocked perfectly by the hand of Marvin Hagler. In recent fights? Or does it? The slugfest is on. Under a minute to go, round 2, scheduled for 12. A left lands from Mugabi. And a right.
Marvelous Marvin has seen anything like this.
A left to the ear of the champion from Mugabi.
And a good right hand to the body.
He knocks most people out. We're into round number 3 now.
It's a good counter punch by Hagler. He's got Mugabi reaching a little bit now, Tim.
A good block by Hagler. Always trained so superbly, never out of shape. Never been a factor for him. I would call the fight dead even through 3. Go, would you agree?
Just about it, Tim.
4 scheduled for 12.
There's that uppercut.
And Hagler keeps coming forward. Humping that jab. There's a right counter back from Mugabi. Right hand to the ear at the bell from Mugabi. That uppercut by Mugabi. And there it is, between the gloves and rocking the head back. Round number 5. Mugabi comes up quickly this round, and that gets Marvin's attention. Round 5 scheduled for 12. An interesting progression in the fight for sure. For sure. The jab landed, the left behind it was blocked by Mugabi.
Again, that wide left hand. He's been throwing his left hand very wide. That's about the straightest one he threw.
Well, what Hagler is doing is
look at this
tonight. Was left hand just a minute ago.
A test of physical strength now, and Hagler is landing a good combination. But he can't move Mugabi back.
My God, Tim, what punishment this Mugabi's taking, and he's still
From laying for a low blow again, a right hand lead by Hagler. Keeping the pressure on it, he caught a left counter. Another left counter from Mugabi, and Hagler won't move back. A test of will. First time Mugabi attempted to grab Hagler. And Mugabi fires back. He lands a left hook.
Mugabi is tie-in now.
What a round! In that wide stance and says, move me, try to. Well, Hagler's doing it now.
Hagler seems to be much better off in this fight. Oh, a good straight left by Hagler. And a right hook.
Here they go again, toe-to-toe. Hagler having his way with the right jab. Mugabi's hands a little lower as time wears on. Oh, an uppercut lead, that landed. But
Mugabi would come out a much more popular fighter.
He is strong, and there's a solid right hand fight against Marvin Hagler. It must be a little frustrating to not see him respond, react. That's what's happening to Mugabi.
Well, again, he's setting Mugabi up.
Also, Tim, this is only the second. He's never been this far.
Round 9 scheduled for 12.
Come on.
Some solid punches by Mugabi, Tim. Right hands right down the pipe.
Still behind that left hook, that right hand. He just can't shoot that right hand.
Round 9 to Mugabi with their comments of saying, just get back into your rhythm, Marvin.
Mugabi's landing a lot of good punches now, Tim.
Yes, he is. That last one.
You know, at times Hagler falls apart. He forgets what he's doing, it seems like.
Big left hook by Hagler.
Right, wide shots.
Well, that seems to be the ticket inside for Hagler. And Mugabi's punches seem to be lacking a lot of snap now, Tim.
The end of round 10.
Well, he's really tired now.
Well, that's the key. The key is the punishment. That's why he's tired. And Hagler keeps the heat on. Uppercut inside by the challenger.
With short little punches.
Wings 2 over the top just for good measure, and he's got him hurt. He's got him hurt. Mugabi finally goes down. He's more dead tired than anything else, and it's all over. He's just exhausted from the
continual assault. Marvelous, Marvin Hagler.
We were all surprised. Was that a plan to set up being a southpaw?
Right, I tried to find out to see, he was training for a southpaw, try to see which type of strategy he had in there. Then I turned back southpaw and I found out that I was more effective southpaw.
The winner by a knockout, and still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a joint presentation between DeWitt Promotions, Willie Martinez, Don King, under the auspices of the State of Florida Athletic Commission, Robert Shevin, Chairman, Jimmy Resnick, Commissioner. The officials assigned by the Commission: doctors in attendance, Doctors Rodrigo Acosta, Camille Dennis, and Theodore Struhl. Timekeeper Sam Goralnik counting for the knockdowns, Richard Graver. The officials assigned, the judges assigned by the WBA: Al Trimari from Chicago, Antonio Riteni from Venezuela, and Ed Levine from Miami. The referee is Eddie Eckert. The Premier of Jamaica has extended his best wishes to Mike McCallum to continue his winning ways. And the principals The challenger, wearing the gold trunks with the red trim, at 152 pounds, Julian Jackson. And his opponent, from the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, wearing the gold trunks with a green trim, at 152.5 pounds, the World Boxing Association Junior Middleweight Champion, McCallum. The office of the Prime Minister is asking that Michael McCallum have the welfare of the Virgin Islands on his corner, and they wish him speedy success in continuing his championship. 15 rounds, Don King promotion, Jimmy Resnick, Willie Martinez.
the best. He didn't beat you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael McCallum retained his world's heavyweight junior middleweight championship. The winner and still champion, Mike McCallum.
First punch by Hagler. Clean miss. Nice combination by Leonard.
21-foot ring so far. Hagler content to cut off the ring, and Leonard with a right hand.
Tough to keep up with these guys. There's the shots. Southpaw, and yet he's fighting orthodox. I don't know why. I think Marvin is making a mistake. He's trying to prove that he can outbox Leonard. It's not necessary. Watching Leonard in camp, he couldn't handle southpaws.
Left landed by Hagler, his first heavy punch of the fight.
Much better as a southpaw. And Hagler outpunched him in that exchange. Come on, punch it out, punch it out. Good combination by Leonard, Tim. Right hand, left hook.
Moved by Leonard out of that corner. Hagler thought he had him there. Now Leonard scores a combination. Confidence seeming to build as each second of the fight ticks away.
Good body shots by Hagler.
Good combination again. Good right hand by Leonard. Hagler trying to pull him into the corner, but
now Leonard is fighting left. Tim, he's looking to nail Hagler. Got nailed himself that time with that right hook.
Hagler still talking. Leonard would hope it's in frustration.
Hagler's starting to get the range a little bit now, though, Tim.
Yes. Finally got him in the corner, landed a left.
Seemed like it's just was starting to get the range.
The conditioning of these two athletes is extraordinary. Hagler a solid right by Hagler. Leonard stopped on the ropes for the first time in the fight.
And hit a couple of good body punches. Now he's punching back, but Hagler, Tim, he doesn't belong in there.
Into the round. You can hear that in the corner. Good combinations there by Hagler, counter-punching well. Better timing. Near the end of the fifth round.
And Hagler's banging to the body, Tim. 3 solid body punches.
Furious, even though Hagler didn't throw a lot of punches the first 3 rounds, he used up a lot of energy.
And Ray is doing nothing to make him miss. He's just missing.
4 punches inside by Ray. Hagler looking a little... Leonard punches back. Final seconds of the 6th round.
Even when Leonard misses.
On the other hand, Ray has also slowed his footwork pace, but he landed a good left hook, and he got one back from Hagler.
Hagler's was a harder punch. Nailed him again, Tim. Solid punches by Hagler.
Hagler finding the range by Leonard when the punches arrive. And flurries back. Those were blocked by Hagler.
Just flashing. Oh, and there we go to Muhammad Ali. A nice combination. Those are the solid punches.
Yep.
Man. Those are the solid punches. He has Ray in a little trouble now.
Bang into the body. Uppercut scored at the bell. They don't hear the bell.
The one punch that I'd be using if I was Hagler would be a straight left hand to the body. They're not just little jabs. They're stiff. Good right hook. Hagler's able to move right through it. Leonard hit him with a right hand, didn't move him. He was able to counter with a left hand to the body. How much marvelous Marvin misses like. But he doesn't get discouraged. He misses, he punches again. That was the best punch of the fight.
Hagler straight down the middle.
Best punch of the fight. For Hagler.
Into the Leonard corner. Short right uppercut.
He's nailing him now, Tim.
Right to the chin.
That's where he has to put that.
Throw a punch out of this corner. Now he does. Trying to bang his way out.
Look at that determination of Ray Leonard. You talk about a champion.
They're on its feet. Trading.
Leonard is punching in desperation now, though, Tim. Really goes on. Yeah, but he tries to be tricky. Nothing's going to help him, though, Tim. Not when he's tired. Well, we said they were going to have to fight, and they're fighting. Battle that Ray Leonard won when he got this fight to be 12 rounds. Those uppercuts of Marvin's starting to land now, Tim. Short little uppercuts. The Goody Petronelli. Big solid punches.
Good flurry by Leonard.
Richard Steele is doing a good job as a referee.
Wild miss on a trick play by Filippo from Los Angeles. And
So slow getting off Hagler. He's got the shot. Beautiful combination.
Solid body shot. Hagler, and Leonard escapes off the rope. He lands a combination.
He should be throwing that left hand down the pipe. Just did it in. But that's what he should be doing all along.
3 minutes.
Well, you know, Goody Petronelli in the corner. Oh, good straight left hand by Hagler.
And look at Leonard just able to... And Leonard flurries against Hagler.
Well, Tim, he's giving this round away, though. Sugar Ray, you know, the fans think.
But also showing that psychologically and physically now he's in control.
It's going to be interesting scoring, Tim. You know, you like the flash.
Leonard busy on the rope. Hagler trying
There'll be no knockout. No knockout.
Judge Lou Filippo scores the bout. 115, Marvin Hagler. 113, Ray Leonard. Judge Jojo Guerra scores the bout. 118, Leonard. 110, Hagler. And Judge Dave Moretti scores 115, 113. By the winner, decision, and new middleweight champion of the world, Leonard.
Well, the hardest punch in junior middleweight today.
Basically, power is just given to you from the Creator. But you learn through boxing, form, and technique that shows you how to deliver the power.
Power to me, I think it's how an athlete condition himself, how he take care of his body, the way he lives. You can't cheat, and you really have to go out there and give it your all.
And he's given it his all throughout his career. He was undefeated in his first 29 fights when he took on champion Mike McCallum for the WBA title 3 years ago. He started well and hurt the champion in the first round. But in round 2, McCallum showed why he was champ as he pounded the strong young challenger against the ropes until the referee was forced to stop the fight. Julian did not let this loss deter him, and when he was given another title shot a year later for the vacant WBA crown, he was not to be denied as he destroyed Korean Bacon Chul in the 3rd round. Julian had given the Virgin Islands their 3rd world champion. In his first defense, he met former IBF champion Buster Drayton, and though Julian is known primarily for his right-hand bombs, it was this left hook that ended matters late in round 3. And then last February, he met Brazilian challenger Francisco de Jesus. Round 8, another left hook, and it was lights out in Las Vegas. And today he fights for both his title and for recognition.
I'm tired of being in the shadows now, and I think this is my opportunity. I'm feeling good about myself, and I'm just ready to go out there and just prove to the world that I am a champion.
Well, the champion Julian Jackson and the man he faces today, Terry Norris, certainly has earned this title shot, but the path to that title shot was made a whole lot smoother, and not just by his lightning quick hands, but by the strength of some very, very
outside the ring, you know, me and my brother were the best of friends. You know, we are best friends.
We both respect each other. We respect each other's feelings, you know, and we stay out of each other's hair. You know, we know how to do that because we've been around each other for so long. You know,
Orland, he's a motivator. You know, he motivates me. You know, it makes me want to do better. So, and it makes me feel good inside to know that, you know, I got family outside the ring just, you know, wanting me to do good. And my mother and my father, you know, they've done so much for me, and now it's my time to do something for them. So, you know, it motivates me a lot.
And that something may be a world title. He was considered a top prospect right from the beginning, exhibiting a blend of quickness and power, which he used to mow down opponents. After 18 wins in his first 20 fights, he stepped into the ring last December to battle Steve Little for the vacant NABF Super Welterweight title. Though Little was known for his durability, one right hand in round 6 ended it. And then in March of this year, he defended against former IBF champion Buster Drayton. Norris floored him early, and then went on to settle for a comfortable decision victory. Victory and Terry Norris just seemed to go well together, and the road to the title has been shortened with the help of brother Orland.
Having Orland as a brother means everything. You know, he's a special person. He wakes me up in the morning to run. He does everything. He's just everything. That's all I can say.
Julian Jackson, Terry Norris is coming to get you.
And there is Terry Norris already in the ring. By the way, his brother Orland can't be here as he has to defend his North American heavyweight title in Las Vegas on Tuesday. And Norris awaiting the arrival of the champion. And here he comes, Julian Jackson, making his way through the crowd. So coming up, professional boxing here on the Schlitz Malt Liquor Series. Julian Jackson and Terry. Contrasting styles. On the one hand, we have Julian Jackson's power versus Terry Norris's speed. But the question is, does that equate into different strategies? How about if we find out?
Our strategy is going to be to box Julian Jackson for about 3 to 4 rounds and then wait for him to make a mistake.
Our key point in this fight is for Julian to go out, put pressure on, and go to the guy's body and counter his right hand, Norris's right hand.
Against Julian Jackson, Terry's best weapon is going to be to slip his right hand, step to his right, and come back with the right.
All right, let's recap what both camps want to get accomplished today. Julian Jackson wants to come out quick and start working the body. For Terry Norris, he wants to box conservatively. He feels the longer it goes, it favors him, and counterpunching will be a key for both. Well, there is how both camps see this fight. And Alex, I'm interested in your thoughts on today's fight.
Dan, I think the champion, Julian Jackson, is a pretty complete offensive fighter. He's not just a headhunter. He works the body very well, and he'll need to do that to take away Terry Norris's legs and his movement. But he gets so involved in his offense that he has some defensive liabilities that he's got to overcome to win. He tends to eat right hands. From Terry Norris's point of view, he showed in beating the former champion Buster Drayton that he can fight a disciplined fight plan and keep to that fight plan over the full 12 rounds. He'll need to continue to do that in this fight. He says quite accurately, I have all the skills to win. It's just a matter of putting the pieces together.
And there is Julian Jackson, a resident of the U.S. Virgin Islands, his hometown St. Thomas. Beautiful harbor city, and very proud of the fact is Julian Jackson.
Good luck to both of you. Shake hands.
Terry Norris in there as well, getting the referee's instructions. And quickly, let's see if we can take a look at the tail of the tape for today's fight. The biggest difference is in age between these two, 6 years. Terry Norris, the younger man. The rules for today's fight will be the WBA version. Scoring is on the 10-point must. The 3 knockdown is in effect. The standing 8 count is not. And a fighter can't be saved by the bell in any round. Joe Cortez of New Jersey is our referee today, and we have 3 scoring judges. Jaime Province from Curacao, Luis Rivera from New York, and York Van Nixon from Washington, D.C. And we are ready to get this fight underway from the Atlantic City Convention Center for the WBA Junior Middleweight title, Julian Jackson and Terry Norris. Julian Jackson in the gold trunks, Terry Norris, the challenger, wearing the white with the purple trim.
Right away, you see the movement from Norris. Oh, and a bad miss there by Julian Jackson. When you make a puncher miss like that, Dan, it makes him shorten his punches up, and when he shortens his punches up, you won half the battle because it takes a lot of his power away.
Get the hands out. Get those
Julian
hands out.
Jackson,
Come on. Get him out of there. Come
opening
on.
right up, Alex, appearing to do some head hunting.
Come on, don't let me hold it.
He had talked about doing some work to the body early, but it's been upstairs so far. And as is the trademark of Terry Norris, exciting combinations. Brilliant hand speed, Norris.
Good chopping right hand, and Terry Norris right here in the opening seconds has taken all the play away from the champion. I think Julian Jackson's having a lot of trouble with the speed.
Oh, and Julian Jackson took a right on the ear from Terry Norris. And right now, the champion looking a little perplexed. Definitely fighting out of a defensive posture.
And you have to like, I think, if you're the Norris corner, the fact that rather than go crazy there and go in and get caught with something, he scored his points and then backed away and continued his fight plan of movement. There you go. The thing he doesn't want to do, if you're Terry Norris on the left, is just stand there as he is right now. Move to the side. You don't have to back out all the time. Move to the side and punch from angle.
Well, Terry Norris and his people are well aware of the fact that a Julian Jackson fight has never gone the distance.
We said at the top, Julian Jackson has a tendency to eat right hands. He's got a clip with a good series of strong right hand leads from Terry Norris already.
So the point for Norris there is that he's going to try to box at the opening stages of this fight without taking a whole lot of chances. He definitely likes his odds the longer this fight goes on. A right from Norris caught the gloves, but then a good scoring left counterpunch on his way out.
I'll tell you this, Julian Jackson is thinking too much right now. He's just not letting his hands go. This is totally atypical for the champion on the right of your screen. He generally just comes out and wails with both hands.
A break on the break. Jackson throws a right and lands.
I think that's a sign of frustration. There, Jackson tried to finish the encounter, the exchange with a right hand at the end, and Norris was out of range. He's moving very well.
Inside the final 30 seconds of round number 1. This fight's scheduled for 12. And Terry Norris having a very strong showing here in the first round. Again, look at the hand speed of Norris. 3 and 4 and 5 punch combinations. Nothing unusual.
Something unusual for the champion, Julian Jackson.
That's the end of round 1. Well, it was Julian Jackson in round number 1 who looked tight, who looked like he was feeling the pressure of being the challenger. Almost a role reversal between the two, Alex, on the way they should have looked.
It's a movement by Norris. I mean, he ducked one way to avoid one punch and then escaped the other way to avoid the counter.
And a big right to the body by Julian Jackson.
And a good inside left by Norris at the same time.
But really, Jackson's first attempt to work the body. Almost all headhunting in round number 1.
Aaron Snowell and Richie Giacchetti in Jackson's corner told him, you just have to get off. You have to let your hands go and try to work the body, and he did try to do it there, Dan.
Terry Norris, who will at times during the course of a fight move in and out of a southpaw stance, and again a good left counter punch.
You saw Norris duck. There was no counter punch coming back from the champion, but Norris got under it if it was. If the key is Terry Norris told us yesterday, was relaxation and concentration. He looks totally relaxed and totally focused right now, Dan.
Another good right to the body that time by Julian Jackson. Overhead chopping right, and again the incredible knockout ratio of Jackson.
Whoa!
And then right to that, Terry Norris is gone.
He lost his concentration for one critical moment and caught a right hand from the champion.
Terry Norris struggles to get up.
He beat the count, but he said he's all right, but Joe Cortez doesn't believe him.
That's it. Joe Cortez stops the fight. Norris did indeed beat the count. And Julian Jackson, after struggling through the first round, unleashes a bomb in round number 2.
We were just talking about the concentration of Terry Norris, and he got back up on the ropes, lost it for a moment, dropped his hand, and Julian Jackson got home the first meaningful punch of the fight, really, from him, a right hand, and it was more than Norris could handle.
Well, I think it was more than just about anybody could handle. A good look at it
Watch
here, Alex.
Norris left. Carrying a little bit, he just drops it there a little bit and just gave enough. Another right in combination, and Terry Norris was gone.
But Alex, it's the first one, and I think it even grazes the glove on its way over. Just nicking the glove, and I'm afraid the second punches are after the fact. That was the initial right.
That last one didn't give him any help.
No, it did not give Terry Norris any help at all, but it was the initial right from Julian Jackson, and again, the remarkable power of this gentleman from the U.S. Virgin Islands. And for the 39th time, a Julian Jackson fight does not go the distance. And a pretty good vertical leap as well.
Tremendous pride with Julian Jackson, determined not only to be an outstanding champion for his family and for the U.S. Virgin Islands that he represents, but he just really, really wants to demonstrate his ability. And there you see Terry Norris. Terry Norris should be reminded that Julian Jackson, when he first went for the title himself, got knocked out in the second round against Mike McCallum, came back to win a title. I think Terry Norris showed just in the brief time he was in there that he has the skills. He did not in this fight put it all together.
Don't forget, coming up, we still have Julio Cesar Chavez. We'll return here to Atlantic City in a moment with an interview of the winner. So stay with us. A lot of boxing still.
Yeah, right now. We need him.
We are back in Atlantic City. I'd like to remind you that Schlitz Malt Liquor, the sponsor of this event, is presenting a check for $1,000 to the Sickle Cell Anemia Center of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the name of today's winner, Julian Jackson. And we're awaiting the arrival of Julian Jackson down here ringside to do an interview with Alex Wallow. Let's take a look at it again one more time. if we could, at the big right hand of Julian Jackson, who retains his championship with this bomb of a right hand, and Terry Norris is out on his feet. And right now, Alex Wallow is with the champion ringside.
You just watched it. How did it look?
First of all, let me say thanks to Pony for supporting me and for taking care of me whenever I have a championship fight. I'd like to thank him very much.
What were your impressions of your knockout? It looked like he gave you a lot of trouble in the first round.
I was too relaxed in the first round. I couldn't get to him the way I wanted to, and I had to settle down. I had to get with it because I know these guys that box and move, they're very difficult. As I said, style makes a fight.
Did you have any doubt that you would be able to catch with that kind of shot?
Oh, definitely. When I went back in my corner, I knew he was right there for the shot. I just had to set it up. Time his movement and set it up.
Julian, when you first fought for the World Championship, you got knocked out in the second round by Mike McCallum. You kept with it. You kept your composure, you kept your dedication, your determination, you came back, you won the title, and now you're the man who's winning the title fights. What advice would you give a Terry Norris, a kid like that? What did you do to turn your career around after you lost that first fight?
Well, hey, man, it's faith. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and God, and I keep my faith in them and in Him, and I try to just keep a positive mood about myself and really go out there and try my best. Win, lose, or draw, I'm always a winner.
What did you learn from that loss? What did you turn anything around in your career, or you just stay dedicated?
Oh, definitely. I changed a lot of things in my life, you know, and I wish a lot of fighters in this career, it's a tough career, and they just have to go to God and ask for guidance, man. And I just like to thank him for his victory.
And ask him for a right hand also.
Oh, definitely.
Where do you go?
I just like to say to Mike Tyson, man, you know, I could do it too, you know. You know,
he's going to say, what took you so long? You got into the second round.
Right.
Julian, where do you go from here? You've even talked about moving up and fighting middleweight Michael Nunn.
Oh, definitely. I would love to fight a Michael Nunn. He's been talking, saying there's nobody there to fight him, and I'm willing to come up there and knock him out too.
Congratulations. Thanks very much, Julian.
Thank you very much.
All right, Alex. Well, I'm joined here ringside between the two of us by undisputed world heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. And Mike, I know Julian is a friend of yours, and nobody appreciates a knockout more than you. That was some right hand.
Absolutely. It was picture perfect. As you know, Norris was just getting ready to throw a punch, and his hand brought his hand down, and it wasn't obvious that the punch was coming, and knocked him cold. Unbelievable.
You've got to talk to Julian a little bit, though, Mike, because he let it go into the second round. I mean, that's way beyond your workday.
A knockout's a knockout.
You've been on a fast track, haven't you, since 9 days ago? You haven't gotten any rest yet, have you?
No, I'm always getting rest. Like I said, I dictate my life. Everything that goes on, I dictate. I do what I want. If I want to rest, you know, sometimes I wonder if I should wear a watch because I don't wait on nobody. They would have to wait on me.
You got that right.
Michael, you were here earlier when Julio Cesar Chavez fought a non-title scheduled 10-round fight against Kenneth Weiss. Are you jealous of the fact you're a heavyweight champion? You can never have a non-title fight. Every time you get in the ring, you're defending your title. Are you a little bit jealous of Julio?
Yeah, a lot of times I want to go in and fight no decision fights or something like that. Unless they're knockouts, that's the only time they count. But in the heavyweight champion, since there's no weight limit, you have titles on the line constantly.
Most people, I think really all people who follow boxing rate Julio Cesar Chavez and Mike Tyson 1-2 in the world in terms of the best pound for pound. It just depends upon who they put first. What are your impressions of him as a champion, as a fighter?
Well, you know, he's a great champion. Today I didn't like the fight because, you know, usually I'm a man that believes in the punch. When you evade a punch, the punch should miss you by 5 inches or 3 inches. You know, I don't believe in blocking punches. You know what I mean, it looks bad. It looks bad on cameras. It looks bad to the judges. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of good fighters out there that I think Chavez could fight. Perhaps Azuma Nelson, if he goes down to 136, and Azuma Nelson probably could come up to 131 or 32 and fight. I think that'd be a great fight. I think him and Melder Keller would be a splendid fight. Him and Pernell Whitaker also be a splendid fight. And I think there's a bunch of good guys out there, and especially my favorite fighter, the guy from Australia, Jeff Finnick. You know, there's so many good fights out there.
Mike Tyson, matchmaker. Back over to Dan Deardorff. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Michael, and thanks, Alex. And of course, earlier this afternoon, we had an opportunity to take a
obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
And he came in, you know, right after Leonard, which I like to see. That was a good left hook to the body. Cheek of Lalonde. That was a good exchange there.
Now they begin to mix it up inside for the first time. One-handed fight.
Good left hook.
Good left hook by Lalonde.
There you go.
And some good
Oh,
punches
he
inside
hurt
by
Leonard.
Lalonde.
Yeah, I think he hurt him. He proved he was a fighter then.
Good jab by Leonard. A good left hand.
Leonard refused to shake his hand, and Lalonde went to a microphone and said, referring to his weight, "I thought I was fighting an old welterweight."
Well, I agree with going to the left to get away from the right hand. That's the way he's supposed to be. That alone could be the motivation to bring him through.
Leonard missed with the right. Lalonde landed to the body.
Good right hand.
There he landed the right for the first time.
It had no effect on Lalonde. Or visible effect. Fires a left hook to the body. Oh, hurt right hand.
On the right hand.
Patterson situation here. But remember, Ray Leonard
Be able to chop away a little bit with it.
Oh, boy.
Right hand again, and Leonard holding on.
Maybe from his nose, we're not sure yet.
He looked at his glove. Oh.
Lalonde missing wildly with the right.
Ray came back and Lalonde came back. Ray was able to get back up and survive. Almost on top of the head. I guess the question is, will Lalonde fold up? Will he run out of gas?
Oh. Right hand landed. Leonard was able to take that one. And the jab. Leonard becoming more and more effective. Solid right hand inside. And another right hand. Lalonde comes back.
Lalonde is hurt.
Leonard trying to get inside again. Believes he has Lalonde hurt.
Better watch himself. Better watch himself. No damage.
But he's starting to land at will with the left hand. As he did there with the left. Right hand landed for Lalonde inside. And now he goes after Leonard again.
He hurt him.
Leonard holding on. Ray Leonard knows one thing by now. It is that he wants no part of that chopping overhand right.
Ray came back strong in the last. Tried the crazy right hand. And it's only crazy because he missed.
They're both getting a little wild, trying to measure Ray for the right hand of his own. Leonard landing the right.
Came back with his own right hand, it looked like. We'll see if it swings back the other way or not. Oh, both of them good right hands. Good left hook.
Yes, he does, Kevin. It's exactly the kind of fight he wanted. The question now, saw it against Tommy Hearns in this arena 7 years ago. Good exchange.
Took a good body shot, came right back.
And it releases less and less quickly as the bout goes on. But there he got one in. Now he tries to follow up. Every time he lands that right hand to the head, Kevin.
Oh. These guys measuring each other.
Don't hold him, Johnny. Don't hold him.
Leonard landing the left again as the round comes to a close.
Good body shot.
Left eye's a little bit close up. There's the right hand again.
He's going after
now Lalonde has another chance.
He's going after him, too. Oh.
Lalonde has to be careful not to punch himself out. There's blood over Lalonde's right eye. I don't know if that's his or Ray's.
I think it's his. Good exchange.
Good right hand by Leonard.
He hurt him.
Lalonde is hurt. Lalonde backs up against the ropes. Leonard landing at will.
Let's hope they don't stop the bout.
And Lalonde goes down.
Lalonde is badly hurt, and Ray will try to finish him off right here.
Lalonde ought to grab on and hold for his dear life.
Great right hand by Leonard. Lalonde staying up only through the force of will.
Will he get up again and stopping the bout?
I don't think he'll get up anymore. That is it. A magnificent comeback for Ray Leonard.
Left hook. That hit him. He never saw it.
And remember, this is in a round in which Leonard himself was hurt earlier by a right hand.
And he came back. That was a good call. They let the fight continue after the first knockdown. Lalonde's inexperience cost him. He should have grabbed Ray and threw him on the floor.
It took Donnie Lalonde a pretty good long time before he could stand up.
The winner by a TKO and new super middleweight and light heavyweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again, obey my commands at all times. If there's no question, shake hands, good luck.
Very quickly, Michael Nunn, what do you expect to see these two men trying to do in the early going?
Well, I figure the first round is going to be like a full-round process between both fighters. You know, Tommy's going to come out and try to get the jab established, and Ray's going to just sit back and let him pick.
Who danced his way into the hearts of boxing fans in the early part of the decade.
That may be a message punch.
Just missed with a right cross, and Hearns smiles and waves as if to say, come on back. But right now, it is Leonard who is seizing the initiative, as Hearns has stopped throwing the jab.
If this is a war, as this fight was advertised, right now it's just a war of attrition.
Both fighters remain a little out of range of one another, and just as I say that, Leonard is able to step in and land. Round two coming to a close. Leonard switches to a southpaw stance and takes a right hand in the face for his trouble. Not in such a way as to do damage to Tommy. Right hand by Hearns, and Leonard is stopped in his tracks. Hearns gains confidence and knocks Leonard down. It has long been regarded as one of the great weapons in the sport. Tommy Hearns' right cross. Now he tries to land it again. Leonard fighting back.
Keep remembering that when he's hurt, Sugar Ray Leonard is dangerous.
Well, he's hurt right now.
And he is somewhat hurt, a little stunned right now. And Hearns is wary of that reputation.
Hearns landing with the left. Has not been able to get the right in a second time.
And Ray is going after him. And Hearns is laying back.
And Ray lands a right and a left to show Tommy Hearns he's out of the temporary stupor. Hearns comes back with another right. They stand toe-to-toe and trade blows. Good right inside by Leonard to the body. Solid shot. Tries to follow it up. Hearns missed with the right. Leonard is seizing the initiative, but giving Hearns a lot of chances. And he landed the right there. And indeed, suddenly it begins to look like a war.
Yeah.
Just missed. It is Leonard who looks tentative and Hearns who looks commanding in round 5. Great left. And now it is Hearns who wobbles against the rope. A tremendous left hook following the right hand by Ray Leonard.
And now Hearns is holding on for dear life, which is something he didn't do in the first fight.
A right and a left. Leonard just missing with, and a right lands. Hearns in a lot of trouble with a long way to go in this round. Hearns not giving back. Richard Steele looking carefully. Tommy throws a wild right that leaves himself open. Hearns grabbing again as he did against Kinchin. Now he gives Ray a chance to wail away. Leonard landed
taken some of Leonard's best stuff here.
Very close to hitting on the break, but Leonard got away with the left hook. But it looks as though Hearns may weather the storm. Reminiscent of round 6 in the first fight, Leonard again completely turns things around.
And that's the best round of all the rounds they fought. And Hearns seems to have recovered. He has trained very hard for this fight.
Leonard got a jab in and managed to slip both of Hearns' punches in return. Leonard showing off his ability to slip the jab, steps in and hits Hearns with a right cross, and Hearns comes back with a straight left.
How do you score the fight so far?
Larry, I've got it 4 rounds to 2 in favor of Tommy Hearns. For the first 4 rounds, I thought he was fighting a perfect fight. He had Ray Leonard on the end of the jab.
And that could become a crucial factor in this fight tonight.
Hearns landed a left that backed Leonard up. Ray Leonard began this round standing very close to Tommy Hearns, and he may pay a price for it. Hearns wailing away. Leonard staggers against the ropes a bit. Tommy's leaving himself open to break and come back with anything.
This is the most trouble I've ever seen Ray Leonard in right here. He is badly hurt. Older fighters are more vulnerable to getting hit, and Ray is getting hit more good punches than we've seen him get hit with before.
And right now he's been hurt badly enough that those punches he's throwing are pawing, waving punches with no snap behind them. It is Hearns who's doing all the damage here in round 7. Now Leonard begins to get some starch back in his punches. But Hearns lands the right again. Surely few have ever wanted more badly to win a fight than Tommy Hearns wants to win tonight. Too much? We'll see.
Sometimes I've thought, Jim, that he almost wanted to win it too much, and that tensed him up.
Leonard coming back with a furious assault to the body. And when he throws to the body, Hearns does not throw back at it. Isn't it a gamble falling as far behind on points as he may be falling at this moment?
Yes, you know, by fights going 12 rounds, it's not beneficial to Ray Leonard by letting Tommy take control.
He may not have any choice. Hearns continuing to stalk Leonard around the ring. Right cross just missed. Leonard with a right and then a left.
At this weight, Tommy Hearns is obviously stronger defensively than he was at 145 pounds in their first fight. Given the size of his body, this is a more natural weight for him, and he appears to be stronger at this weight, at least in this fight.
But of course it was at something close to this weight. He was knocked out by Barkley, knocked down by James Kinchin. Hearns showing no signs of fatigue, still dominating much of the action with his jab. Solid right cross by Leonard, partially blocked though, I think. Or how about Nunn Hearns 1?
Well, Tommy Hearns has already said he wants no part of Michael Nunn.
He may want part of the money which could ensue as a result of a bout like that. Hearns just missed with a right hand that might have ended matters then and there.
Your thoughts?
A hard left by Leonard, and Hearns is staggered momentarily again. Leonard steps in. Not much time to go to work on this. and Hearns again holds on.
Larry, 87-83, 6 rounds to 3. Favorite Thomas Hearns.
Left hand on the face. Leonard may have a shot here.
2.5 rounds.
Leonard goes to the body again. Trailing on points in the closing minutes against Tommy Hearns. He's been in that position once before. Oh, a solid right hand by Hearns. Spectacular right cross, and Leonard is in trouble again.
And Ray Leonard had a look on his face there that I had never seen before.
A look of utter bewilderment.
Trying to regain his composure, and he jumps back in with a right hand. Does he have enough left to do any damage with it?
This is the first time in Ray Leonard's career that he's been knocked down twice in a fight. Both times he was the victim of sensational right crosses from Thomas Hearns. Hearns just missed with a haymaker. Leonard landing with the left. And stepping back in.
Tommy Hearns isn't holding back when all he could do is play out the round.
This is the pride of Tommy Hearns. He would love nothing more than to put Leonard down for good.
There is no quit in either of these great warriors. Can Ray Leonard do it? He's got a minute to go and an exhausted fighter in front of him.
If Hearns goes down, he'll wonder for the rest of his life why he gave Leonard this chance in the 12th round of a fight he had apparently won.
They're coming across the finish line with nothing left. They've given every ounce of what they have in their hearts, and they have big hearts.
For the fight, a statistical profile of what you've just seen.
Jim, I've got it 7-5 in rounds, 115 to 111 in favor of Thomas Hearns.
Ray Roth scores the bout 113 to 112 for Thomas Hearns. Tommy Kazmarek scores it 113 to 112 for Sugar Ray Leonard. And Dalby Shirley scores the bout 112, 112. This bout is a draw.
It goes without saying, we take this as a major shock.
The opportunity presents itself, no question about that.
25 of his 38 KOs within the first 3 rounds in his illustrious career, and accepts punches at a furious pace. A big left by Hearns. Trying to finish him off early with his left. The right was blocked. The right by Hearns' blocked.
And you saw he's throwing his punches with not the same leverage. He may knock Barkley out, but right now, well, Tommy Hearns has a good right, but don't forget his left hand. There's the hook. Slapped a little bit with it.
There's that right by Thomas Hearns.
Good stiff right hand by Tommy Hearns, but it didn't move Barkley at all. Depending on how he had to lose that weight, it could harm him. Good left hook by Iran Barkley.
Double left hook, and when he goes with the to the body and the head.
A right cross. And round 3 scheduled for 12. And Barkley comes out, smoking. Hearns retaliates.
Working in the gym, Al. Good jab, set it up, hook to the body. And there it is again.
Emmanuel Stewart. The crowd sensing something. Hearns continues to go to the body with a left uppercut.
By Barkley, and Hearns is down. A lunging right.
Seems to me it was a long count. I don't know.
Can he survive the 3rd round? Wow. Richard Steele steps in. Hearns goes through the ropes.
What a turnaround.
It's over. Iran Barkley has upset Thomas Hearns here in the 3rd round.
From another angle, Gil.
There it is again. Look at Barkley. Look at the floor. He's up again now. And he just swings, and boy, did he nail him. And look at that second right hand. How Tommy ever got up the first time was a miracle.
On the way down, able to...
Look at those eyes.
And this is the end of the fight now. Amazing, like you said, Hearns able to get up from that, but now he goes through the ropes.
Well, Richard Steele conceded he's completely helpless and stopped the fight exactly the right time.
Here's the official word, Gil. Michael Buffer in the center of the ring.
New middleweight champion of the world, Iran the Blade Barkley.
Iran Barkley said he would bring the title back to New York. A lot of people scoffed at that, but he is a man of his word.
Inside the ropes of this ring. He's using all of it in this 1st round. Good jab by Leonard.
Duran looks very good. He looks in good shape.
Looks in good shape, but he hasn't landed a punch as yet.
Well, that one there, the first. The right hand to the side of Leonard's head. A good left back from Leonard.
Duran has a very quick right hand himself, so
yes,
Leonard can't be stationary too long.
Nice right hand by Leonard.
In the beginning of the fights. I would suspect that Duran would have to throw some punches. The main thing which I worry about, by Duran getting down to 158, get his zap in his energy. This fight here, they both play the same game. Duran is like that also.
Duran getting a little more range counter-punching and lands a good right to the body. So far,
hey, there we go. He's working on Roberto's mind.
The first bolo move.
Bolo move and ended followed by the jab. That's what he did.
Left caught Duran leaning.
Well, what's funny, well, Leonard's been knocked down twice, and Duran's been knocked out. So they both should have some kind of confidence that knowing that one of them can go.
And Leonard's concentration is just great in this fight. A thinking man's fighter.
Final seconds, round 3, and there's the little nostalgia from New Orleans.
If he keeps this up.
And he's got Duran hesitating.
Right hand by Duran.
Started it with a left hook and landed the right behind it.
Duran has to get closer.
Really bang heads in there.
WBC rules. If Richard Steele did not rule out a butt.
Contact occurred that caused the cut inside Leonard's lip. See, they both go in together, And that's a pretty good smack there, no question. Leonard circled out of the corner easily. Now Duran sits in there, hoping to
nice combination by Leonard. Good left hook.
Good left hook. Good right
Another left. So Duran gambled there and lost. And now Leonard picks up the pace. A good left. And a right behind it.
And he thinks he has Duran hurt. Well, I told you, Tim, that he's settled down eventually. And he has.
Fight Leonard. Now you give Leonard this much less back.
Right hand by Leonard. A left to the body. Counter from Duran. That got Ray's attention.
He nailed Duran with another right hand.
And then the bolo here punching on the break. And a right hand lead
by Leonard. And Duran is not punching back.
Richard Steele about the refereeing. And there's the bolo with...
But that was a foul, Tim. Richard Steele.
And he gets tapped on the chin. His leg seems to wobble a little bit now.
Good left hook by Leonard.
Duran is throwing half-hearted punches now, Tim. You notice that? Out punches him again.
Good combination by Leonard, snapping the head back. And he summoned up quite a lot at age 37 against Barkley.
Big right hand by Sugar. He respects Ray's punching power. There's another right hand.
It goes a long round.
Final seconds of the 8th, a body attack from Leonard.
Duran should not be waiting.
Now Duran planning there, lands.
When he tries to get out of the way, see, there you go.
Nails you with a few punches, wins the round, and that's all he has. There he is again.
Now Leonard driving Duran back into the rope.
A little bit of something back.
I don't agree with that, Marvin. I think he thought he could win this fight, but Leonard has discouraged him.
And Leonard is banging him right hands to the ribs, and there's that left hook after showing him the right hand.
Punch.
Well, that's it. Then there's the right hand again.
Combination landed by Duran, but Leonard didn't seem to disturb him in any way.
Takes chances, Ray. Way ahead in the fight and really reached with that right hand.
He wants to come right at him now. Take him out of here.
Forget the crowd, just win the fight.
I can't believe why Duran is not moving his head to the side. He's moving it straight back.
Ooh, big right hand by Leonard.
By Duran, and Leonard's eye is cut.
Rocked Duran, and they clashed heads again.
That was the hardest shot.
Leonard, they're telling him no problem.
What about
Leonard's right on the eye, Tim. It was a right hand by Roberto Duran that opened that cut.
And you saw a big right hand by Ray Leonard that buckled the legs of Duran.
Switching from southpaw to right-handed.
And Duran is mugging. Duran should be punching, not mugging.
Well, this fight's going to be over.
Final seconds. That's it.
WBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Dark Destroyer is an awesome prospect.
Almost dropped him with that. He led with the right, cracked him on the chin with it, and it's going to be all over by the shouting in the opening round. So just over a minute.
Don't go away, because Nigel Benn in the golden shorts has a habit of ending things very quickly. 1 5 out of 5, only had 9 rounds. The last 2 opponents have lasted 2 minutes. And Norris, I don't think he made 10 seconds. And this is a 1-round massacre. This is a bullying performance from Ben. He's got a job to do, and he'll do it until he's told to stop.
He really is doing a destruction job here. And he's done him again with a left hook there. And the referee was going to go in and stop that. He's pulled him off, and it's all over.
Vic Andretti in Miami. He outpoints Jorge Amparo. Then the old power resurfaces against Jose Quinones.
Got him in trouble now. Nowhere to run on the ropes. He's really landing into him and follows it up through the ropes, and Richard Steele has got to dive. Now, I don't think Ben's going to let him off the hook. No, and he didn't.
Doug DeWitt from Yonkers, New York is the WBO middleweight champion. He's 28 and very tough. He won the title on points against Robbie Sims despite... Nigel Benn comes face to face with... Andretti's task is to improve his ring craft and maintain that awesome hitting power. He's never worked harder or...
Well, of course, this fella's never lacked among the... WBO version. I know its fighters don't care, it's what sort of money they can draw.
From his eyes, but that's the best possible start for Ben, the worst possible for DeWitt.
Well, we thought it was going to be a rough fight, and it's turned out to be that way. He'll throw his best punches and get him in the right spot to knock this fellow over, because he climbs up a lot, but he's hurt DeWitt. 12 rounds.
Yeah, what lifts him above most fighters is his punching the champion, so I love...
Zone 4 as against 11-8 1/4 his last fight. A lot, and Newman can see clearly the blood streaming down to win.
Just to be towards the side of the eye.
And it's some battle already, isn't it? Had to be. His management that he fancies, that he's always wanted to somewhat...
Leaving his head up in the air so often, by left hooks, and his corner didn't do this.
And then he got in the inset there, the way they were working with... Well, he's catching him with his appropriately Sunday punches here, Ben. Nutty is, though. He takes some stopping.
Yeah, but I don't think you can take too many of these good punches. Most of them are catching DeWitt a little bit high, but they're still good punches.
On its heart, and he's often taken a lot of stick early on. But the big form line in Ben's favour is that DeWitt was stopped by Quinones, and
Ben comes back with a single.
Ben, we know, can dip. Generally nagging them about watch the heads, Jim, the referee. Oh! Well, that, as I say, is a continued even if the bell went. Now that was a shock. What a slugging match this has been now. Ben's been through this before, not only been marked...
With the power, it landed better. They both seem to throw the punch. There it goes. DeWitt's landed bang on the chin, over went Ben. He started blazing back himself. So there you go, they both threw a punch. DeWitt, although his weight was behind him, yeah, but full blazing back once he got... But his instincts, they got him firing back. That's given him something to think about. There goes the confident start.
Pre-fight chat, DeWitt was show more or less good as me. I think Michael Watson might dispute that. To just do a little bit of boxing here, stay reasonable.
First round, he just doesn't want to waste too much steam. Is it off? See, DeWitt is not a fellow you want to tire against, Reg. He's a good shot.
Have the glory that Lloyd Hannigan had in this
fight again. Well, after that knockdown,
it's favouring the left hook. I was going. Oh, he's down to that.
He has whatsoever, Reg.
And the round's nearly over, though. Punches after the bad
him out of this. You look at the defence, Reg, non-existent. Head up in the air. Really a very poor attention to defensive, putting power into every punch. Lovely punch here. There he goes, all over the place.
And with a bit of a controlled fury now, Ben's got a really good shot of stopping this champion.
There's nothing in DeWitt's jabs as they come back. DeWitt's going to have to find some power or he's in the way out, Reg.
I think some of those tough fights are...
I think some of these punches of Ben's have really taken some...
Brave to the point of foolishness now, DeWitt. Just pouring with that left-hand punch. That's a good performance so far. Doing that, as you say, he can't move. He's rooted to the canvas too much.
But look at the carelessness in his work even now. He's knocked Ben's head back with, so unable to pin him so far. And he found a little bit.
Not that we're particularly concerned about points verdicts at this stage of the game, but there's 3 American judges. Bravery about him.
Well, Ben's punch.
On there, Jim, they're both having a bit of a
good pace. I mean, it's had a good burst in the fight.
Hoping that Ben will run out.
Both throwing good shots.
You hear the timekeeper knocking there to warn the seconds around, pressuring him the whole time and hitting. Oh, what punches they are, Jim. Is this the first rock of a landslide now coming in from Ben? It looks like it.
Well, the traded shot.
So he really shouldn't be. Oh, no, it's good stuff. And before that.
But he is pretty.
To Rob Douglas.
Forward for any time to now.
He'd be more than pleased to get such a clear points decision anyway, but there's still plenty of
title.
Tommy Gallagher though. So making him pay DeWitt, you just grab it.
But DeWitt still had a bang on the chin from Ben.
The trainers call it as strong as anything.
Oh, tremendous shot.
I'm sure he can't. Well, I said he could have fooled me.
Ben looked as though he twisted his knee or something there, Reg.
Yeah, he did. I couldn't work that one. Just keeping Ben controlled more fighting. Oh, a good shot punch. I don't think he's going to get up from that, he says Randy Newman. And of course, the witness says yes, but it's all over. Bar the shouting, Jim. More control and it'll all be over. Yes, that's it. It's all over. Third knockdown. And I want to recognise this or not, I don't know. But let's see the finish, Jim, again.
Well, that was the left hook. That was the one. Ben hit him, but he hadn't.
And there it is again, a real close-up job there. The uppercut came up.
He allowed it to go to the third knockdown, Reg, because DeWitt obviously had nothing left. He hadn't really had a good round all the way through the fight. The referee, for me, could have called it off after the...
He thought I won't.
Unbeaten world middleweight champion Michael Nunn faces his toughest test yet against experienced veteran Kalambay. It's scheduled for 12 rounds, and it's coming to you next, live on HBO. The seniors circuit. 3 aging fighters have re-emerged to put the sizzle back in the middleweight division. Roberto Duran's remarkable win over Barkley has set him up to fight the winner of a rematch between Thomas Hitman Hearns and his old nemesis, Sugar Ray Leonard. Meanwhile, a Los Angeles 25-year-old IBF middleweight champion Michael Nunn sits and waits for his moment in the sun. Since he knocked out Frank Tate for the IBF title, Nunn's spectacular style and unquestionable talent have put him on the threshold of superstardom. But Michael Nunn's long road to glory leads to Chiaravalle, Italy. That is home for former WBA middleweight champion Kalambay. Patricio, as he's affectionately called in his adopted Italy, won the WBA title by beating Barkley. After 3 impressive defenses and now a nonsensical stripping of his title, the crafty Kalambay poses a dangerous threat to Nunn's quest for prominence. 2 gifted athletes from uncommon walks of life take center stage in Las Vegas. Tonight, they fight for a glorious future. The The sun has set in the desert, and we are here to see if a star is soon to shine. Live from the Las Vegas Hilton in Las Vegas, Nevada. IBF middleweight champion Michael Nunn defends his title against the recently deposed WBA middleweight champion Kalambay. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. And we bring you inside the Hilton Center, where there is by no means a sellout crowd. In fact, enough empty seats to no doubt disappoint the management of the Hilton. But this will be a knowledgeable and intelligent crowd waiting to see one fighter with a European background making only his second appearance in the United States, and a young American regarded as a rising megastar in the sport. Hello, I'm Jim Lampley. When this fight was first scheduled, it was contracted to bring together the middleweight champions under the banners of both the WBA and the IBF. Since that time, the World Boxing Association has seen fit to strip Kalambay of its championship because of his having taken this fight instead of a mandatory defense against Englishman Harold Graham, a fighter whom Kalambay defeated earlier in his career. Kalambay summed that up for us yesterday by saying it isn't the title that makes the fighter, it's the fighter that makes the title important. And by that token, it may not be so important for Michael Nunn that he's the IBF World Middleweight Champion as that he is regarded by many experts as a rising superstar in the sport. One of those who has covered him with praise, Sugar Ray Leonard, and many believe that if all goes well for both of them in their upcoming bouts, Nunn and Leonard may meet in the ring someday. But you've been effusive in praising Michael Nunn. What's so great about him?
Well, Michael Nunn is the future as far as I'm concerned in the middleweight division. And I can relate to him so easily because I recall when I first won my title, they criticized me saying I was still not a legitimate fighter. It took a loss to Roberto Duran for people to accept me. Perseverance that required me to be accepted as a professional fighter, a legitimate champion. And for Michael Nunn, Kalambay is another test for him, a stiff test for him, but still, there's questions that needs to be answered.
And we'll find out today if Nunn can rise to the occasion, as you have so many times in your great career, Ray. Indeed, Kalambay is regarded by almost everybody as Nunn's toughest opponent to date. Larry Merchant, do you agree?
Absolutely. Read my nod. Kalambay is a very good fighter. He's not only a very good fighter, he is a very polished fighter, a very experienced fighter, and he's fought and beaten many more quality fighters than has Nunn. For example, he defeated Barkley, who had knocked out Tommy Hearns, and of course who had that lovely war recently with Roberto Duran. Mike McCallum, undefeated. This man beat him. One final footnote. Sumbu means poison. Michael Nunn, take note.
But for whatever reason, despite the superiority of his dossier, Kalambay, poison, is a 5-to-1 underdog here today. Why? Well, because some fighters have star quality and some fighters don't. And it is Michael Nunn's star quality and how he will capitalize on it in the coming months and years, which is most at stake as he prepares now for the toughest fight of his brief career.
There is something very different about Mike Nunn. You could see that he was going to be a great performer, and I think probably that's why actors are fascinated by boxers, is because they do kind of what we do in terms of putting themselves on the line, taking chances, certainly to a greater degree than actors do. But to make things interesting for you as a performer, you have to put yourself on the line, and that's what great boxers do.
With that lofty benediction from a good friend and one of America's greatest actors, Michael Nunn is ready for boxing stardom. It's been a carefully chosen path for the Davenport, Iowa native who at age 13 selected boxing as his destiny. Since then, Bob Serkin, a well-known amateur boxing official, has advised Nunn for 12 years.
As I started growing and getting better, you know, his actions spoke louder than words because it was true, you know. I kept winning, and Bob told me that I'll send you out to the Olympic Training Center and give you the opportunity to fight internationally. And I went out there, and I had the opportunity to fight internationally. Had the opportunity to make the Olympic box office and everything. So, you know, his word was like gold to me. You know, Bob was like a second father to me, too, because he was always supportive of me, you know.
After just missing the 1984 Olympic team, Michael turned pro with the then unheard-of 10 Goose Boxing in North Hollywood, California. Joe Goosen would train him. His brother Dan would manage him. 10 Goose had been begun by Dan and his father, Al, a famous Los Angeles detective and father of 10. Shortly after signing Nunn, Al passed away, but his spirit lives on.
Fighters in the 10 Goose stable regularly perform at the local country club. It's a family affair. Up to 40 Goose and family members work each fight. Brother Larry handles the public relations.
This is my sister. She's the best.
Mother and daughters run the ticket office. Grandchildren sell programs. Boxing has what amounts to a mom and pop store.
We like to enjoy ourselves. The main thing about getting in the business, especially one that you get into yourself personally, is to enjoy yourself while you're working. And we've always had the concept that you work hard, but enjoy it. And I think the results are not only evident as far as our work is concerned, but as far as enjoyment is concerned.
I see the tide turning.
That balls he gets for lucky.
The family atmosphere is sustained in training camp, where Joe cooks for Michael and the rest of the 10 Goose stable. The axiom here is to think of fighters as human beings first. That will allow them to blossom as athletes.
You know, it's been a great business relationship and a friendship. You know, so you got to credit the success to the people I have around me, too, because, you know, I've grown, not just mentally, but physically, too. And, you know, it's just been wonderful, you know. It's like going from a teenager to a grown man overnight. But it's been a lot of hard work.
Nunn's relentless work ethic and spectacular showboating style were for years seen only in the San Fernando Valley community of Reseda. But last July, 10 Goose's name and Nunn's future were on the line when he challenged Frank Tate for the IBF title. Tate had twice beaten Nunn as an amateur, but Michael proved he was second to Nunn in a stirring upset. In his first title defense, Nunn easily stopped Juan Roldan. He still feels there's more to prove.
It's great that I am world champion, but I don't even think like I'm world champion. I'm still fighting like I got to get there, you know, because you always got something to prove, you know. Can this guy take a punch? Can he do this? Can he do it? And I'm always proving these guys wrong, and it's just motivating to me. It makes me better.
Perhaps the final motivating factor is the road for which Nunn is destined. Multi-million-dollar paydays in his talent-filled middleweight division. The sparkling image of the budding superstar is no fluke. For Michael Nunn, there's no alternative in life to clean living and dedication to his art.
Boxing's been great to me, you know, and there's no regrets. Boxing's been wonderful to Michael, and Michael's been great to boxing.
And we bring you back live to Las Vegas as HBO Sports prepares its World Championship boxing coverage. Michael Nunn versus Simbu Kalambay with the IBF World Middleweight Championship on the line. It's scheduled for 12 rounds. And now with thoughts on both fighters and with an eye particularly toward those intimations of stardom surrounding Michael Nunn, we return to Larry Merchant. Larry?
Michael Nunn refers to himself as a boxer, not a fighter, even as an artist. Until he stopped Frank Tate last summer, a lot of people were calling him an artist, a slap-and-run artist who aggravated his opponents into submission. A lot of people don't like boxers. Now there's a feverish campaign afoot to convince us that he is a star, that he is the heir apparent to the middleweight tradition of Hagler and Leonard and Duran and Hearns. But boxers are a hard, tough sell in this blood and guts sport. Fight fans want to see action. Fight fans want to be thrilled and moved the way any other audience do. So boxers have to come with some sort of special personality traits to be sold to the public as megastars. An Ali, a Ray Leonard, even, or at least almost, a Camacho. Setting his sights that high as a star, the burden of proof is on Nunn to show us that he has those qualities. Show us here tonight. And it's not an easy assignment. He is an extremely gifted, even an extraordinary athlete. But Simbu Kalambay is extraordinary in his way, too. This is Chiaravalle, a town in farm country on the Adriatic Sea across the Italian boot from Rome. the town where Sumbu Kalambay chose to pursue his career as a prize fighter and to make his home. At first glance, it isn't the sort of place where you would expect an African emigrant to seek fame, fortune, and championships, nor at second glance. But its low-key yet spirited style is a perfect fit for Kalambay, both the man and the fighter. He is the first black citizen and the first champion of Chiara-Valley. He is accepted there with pride and affection, seen to be as sweet as their favorite pastries.
I prefer to stay in this town because it's peaceful and you live well. I don't have problems with anyone. If you live in a big city, there's a lot of confusion. Here it's peaceful.
Chiara-Valley seems like a heavenly oasis compared to Kalambay's birthplace, Elizabethville, a teeming city in Zaire's copper mine country. Usually, the only way out of Elizabethville is down to the mines. That was Kalambay's way out as a youngster. He was an electrician in the mines.
The work is hard, especially for the miners when they put in the explosives to make tunnels. It's also necessary for them to work frequently with their hands. And sometimes they leave their lives down there. Mines fall on you, you're buried, and you die there.
Many of Kalambay's relatives also worked in the mines. He doesn't anymore because he was an amateur boxer, 18 and wide-eyed, when Muhammad Ali recaptured the heavyweight title from George Foreman in Zaire.
Boxing entered my blood during the big match between Ali and Foreman. In that moment, I became a serious fighter. But to pursue a professional career, you must leave Zaire. They do not have the proper facilities. So I left for Italy to be with a new manager and a new boxing club.
Kalambay came to Italy single, alone, unable to speak the language. He solved all of that by marrying into a fight family. His wife Rose's brother, father, and grandfather all were fighters. His 5-year-old son Patricio hasn't put on the gloves yet, nor has his daughter Eliza. Her birth is imminent.
Most of all, I'm fighting for my family. I'm sacrificing myself for my family.
In the ring, Kalambay is a consummate boxer, determined first to avoid a blow, then to strike one, which is appropriate to his adopted hometown. Quiet, yet pulsing with life. He laughs that he has never quite got used to the natives' curiosity about their neighbors' personal lives, but he wants to be among them forever.
I would like for them to make a beautiful statue of me. Put it in the town square, and it will read, "The Conqueror of the World, I am Kalambay." It will be a nice reminder.
But there is already a monument to Sumbu Kalambay. It is the living reminder that he has come such a long, long way.
And as Sumbu Kalambay prepares to enter the ring, one update. The anticipated birth of daughter Eliza is, as of late this week, a reality. A healthy baby girl, over 7 pounds in weight, so that burden of expectation has been lifted from the challenger's shoulders. It's also worth noting that in his hometown of Chiara-Valley, Italy, right now, where it is past 5:15 in the morning, there is a television screen, a large one, in the town square, and hundreds of Kalambay's neighbors are up early to watch the international television feed of this fight.
Sumbu has awakened the roosters in Chiara-Valley this morning.
Let's see if he can awaken Michael Nunn's roosters. Sumbu Kalambay has had 50 prize fights in his professional career. 46 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. The last loss a few years back to a left-hander named Ayub Kalule, and that's interesting because Michael Nunn is a left-handed fighter. And with more on that, we turn now to Ray Leonard's tip of the night. Ray?
Well, Jim, one thing about it, the Kalambay's jab should help him get inside and work the body of Michael Nunn. But believe me, folks, that is not easy against Michael Nunn's movement. Now, one thing about Kalambay, he's a very tactical fighter, very strategic fighter, and this is really boxing when he slip and counterpunch. And I really believe that if Kalambay can make Michael Nunn miss, the most important thing he has to do is to counter, make him pay for those mistakes. Because Michael Nunn is one of those guys that can get overconfident. Nunn has a problem sometimes. He has a tendency to expose his chin. Now, although he's fast, he cannot afford to do this in the early rounds against Kalambay because of the power. Michael Nunn's favorite punch is that beautiful uppercut. Very short, catches guys on the inside. We all can't be blessed with too many things, but Michael Nunn was definitely blessed with hand speed.
And there is the man with the magnificent hand speed, marvelous footwork, coming off the longest inactive period of his career. Michael Nunn will draw most of the cheers of the crowd here, as many of them have come over the ridge from Los Angeles to watch North Hollywood's own fight.
His face is as unmarked as Baryshnikov's, and some critics insist that they both ply the same trade.
The man hugging Michael before he enters the ring, Bob Serkin, longtime United States amateur boxing official, who befriended Michael Nunn 14 years ago in Davenport, Iowa, and has been his advisor ever since. And there is the record, 32 wins, no losses, despite the 22 knockouts. Many critics and observers of the sport still question his punching power.
Well, he just sort of stings you to death.
That counts too.
One of the glamorous elements in Michael Nunn's dossier, the number of Hollywood celebrities who have befriended him and now follow him. There, a live shot of Gene Hackman coming off, I should say, one of the great years of his career. There's Michael Nunn's brother-in-law, Roger Craig, the Super Bowl champion San Francisco 49ers, married to Nunn's sister, and they go back a long way in Davenport, Iowa. Tail of the tape, and you will see height and reach advantages for Nunn. He's also 7 years younger than Kalambay, who at age 32 is in what many of us would believe to be the twilight of his career, but in fact he seems to have peaked in recent years.
And here is our punch stat numbers to give you an idea of how busy these fighters are. Nunn, as you can see, throws 60 to 70 punches around, lands a high percentage, but throws very few hard punches. Kalambay throws fewer punches, but in these fights, at any rate, he landed a very high percentage, about 50%. And jabs, you see that Kalambay, who is a much more sophisticated technician than Nunn, throws a very high percentage of jabs. He works in the classic form as a boxer.
Rules for the bout, those of the International Boxing Federation. 3 judges scoring on a 10-point must system. No standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. You can be saved by the bell only in round number 12. Right now, let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. President Robert W. Lee, supervisor at ringside Alvin Goodman. It is also sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Commissioners, Dr. James Nave, Dwayne Ford, Jay Nady, and Freddie Little. The chairman of the Nevada State Athletic Commission is Dr. Elias Ghanem, executive director Chuck Minker. The 3 judges scoring this bout will be Chuck Giampa, Bernie Cormier, and Walter Cavaliere. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Womansky, Dr. Donald Romeo, and Dr. Wish Game. The timekeepers, Al Bisick and Mike Lasella. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the world's address for entertainment, the Las Vegas Hilton, Top Rank, and the King of Beers, Budweiser, present the moment you've all been waiting for, the Battle of Champions. Let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds for the IBF Middleweight Championship of the World. The referee for this bout, working his championship bout for the 63rd time, is Richard Steele. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the white trunks with red trim and weighs an even 159 pounds. Originally from Zaire, Africa, he's now an adopted son of Italy. As a professional, 46 victories, only 3 defeats and 1 draw, 26 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the WBA middleweight champion of the world, Sambu Patricio Kalambay. fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with blue letters and weighing an even 160 pounds, from North Hollywood, California, originally from Davenport, Iowa, the pride of 10 Goose Boxing with a professional record of 32-0, 22 by KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated IBF middleweight champion of the world, Michael II.
Okay, let's go.
Bob Arum, the promoter, instructed the ring announcer to announce Kalambay as the WBA champion, although he's been stripped. Arum says that he's going to sue the WBA, but all of this will be moot after the fight.
All right.
They're even having a hard time bringing these guys together for these pre-fight instructions.
Shake hands, good luck.
Well, Kalambay speaks no English, so you have to wonder what the instructions meant to him at that point.
The question here is which of these counter punches will take the initiative first? If neither does, we'll have the equivalent of dueling banjos tonight.
And interestingly, if you ask 20 experts at ringside which one is going to come forward first, you might find 10 who will say Nunn and 10 who will say Kalambay.
Well, Nunn's already been the first one. He's in the middle of the ring.
Now it means something.
I feel it's going to come off to an explosive start. Michael Nunn started off as the aggressive, keeping that jab out there. And again, Kalambay is a boxer. Good counter puncher. This is more of a feeling out process. Both men trying to find out what the other one has. I don't think either man will get crazy and then throw some wild punches. Basically, just trying to get loose.
You see the confrontation of the southpaw Nunn against the conventional fighter Kalambay. Their front feet will be nearly touching each other through much of the bout.
Now again, the southpaw stance of Michael Nunn and the height will bother Kalambay a while. But you also have to watch how Kalambay still punches. I mean, he moves extremely well. Good upper body movement.
Nunn stepped forward for a moment for the uppercut, but didn't really land it. It's been a jabbing contest so far with the early edge to Nunn. And down goes Sumbu Kalambay after a major league left inside by Nunn.
It looks as though Kalambay isn't going to make it.
And Michael Nunn answers a lot of doubters about his punching power. One solid left hand put Kalambay to sleep.
That was unbelievable. I didn't expect that.
You didn't expect it. What do you think Kalambay expected? He was caught cold in the first round, obviously shocked. And what is impressive to me about that knockout is that it's very clear that Nunn came out to prove that he was up to whatever challenge there was. He never ran at all. He stood flat-footed throughout the round.
Well, you said he has to excite the public, Larry. I think he just did something very exciting. 1 minute, 28 seconds of round one, and the toughest opponent of Michael Nunn's career was out of there.
Well, one thing about it, the pay scale goes up. That was just the dynamite display of power. Here is when Michael Nunn's taking his time, throwing his jab out, and what's the counter left hand of Michael Nunn? It caught Kalambay flush on the chin.
He had been very relaxed throughout the first round, not looking as though he was pressing the action or looking to do any serious damage. And then this.
And you know what people are going to talk about, because it was a one-punch knockout. Just the power of his left hand.
Something that he wasn't supposed to be able to do.
Well, they always say this is a stiff test. This is the toughest test thus far. But here, Michael Nunn shows he can deal with anybody.
That's something that Mike McCallum and Duran Barkley, two of the harder punchers in this weight neighborhood, could not come close to doing against Sumbu Kalambay.
Well, Michael Nunn got so much leverage behind that punch because he threw his shoulders with the punch.
Right now, let's go up to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Richard Steele reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute, 28 seconds of the very first round. The winner, still the undefeated IBF middleweight champion of the world, Michael II Nunn.
I think he's happy.
He's ecstatic, and so are the Goosens. This is a family which staked so much on one fighter. They built their whole boxing operation around Michael Nunn. If he'd lost to Frank Tate, they'd have been out to sea financially.
Well, one thing about it, he keeps winning, he keeps getting better, and he's getting stronger. Michael Nunn is the future.
And now Larry Merchant. Just before we go to the ring for the interview, there are the shortest middleweight title fights of all time. Nunn Kalambay takes its place as the third shortest middleweight championship fight in the history of the sport. And now, with that statistic having been defined, let's go up to Larry.
This is why I shall take you out on the night of the 18th of November. You are mine, you belong to me. I am the man.
Nigel Benny's talking to you.
To face me. The thing about him, he's all hype. He's all hype, you know, and I can't wait to November the 18th to give him a good hiding. You know, he went out there, he done a job on a guy. Who was it? Another Sanchez, Gomez, Lopez, who was it? Another road sweeper? Hey, I've done that before. Now I'm with the big boys. I'm there. I'm there already. He's got to prove himself, not me.
I have what it takes. This man is nothing but, he's the real hype. I come up the hard way. I didn't
prove myself, boy.
You had your time. Let's have some parliamentary procedure here, all right?
Oh, God.
I have nothing to say to Nigel. I find the man intolerable in that he's so wild. I have no time for such people. He has no class as far as I see it.
The public is demanding this. You know, I walk down the street, people say, hey, give this boy a hiding. Well, you know, and I am determined to go out there firing on all cylinders.
He's throwing punches back early. We knew Ben would come out firing, as he always does. But Eubank is answering him, even if he is doing it on the run. Stand-up sluggers that he nailed. A minute of the second then. Scheduled for 12.
Oh, that was a short, Reg. Well, Eubanks has taken that one, Reg, so he can take a shot. That was the one.
Yeah.
And Eubank is going to have to come back with punches, Reg. He's not going to be able to strut. He's going to have to try and hurt Ben. He's done it, Reg.
He's done Ben by the look of it. He chopped that right hand down, though. He's right above us, Ben, almost falling down on the ring on us here.
This is what we've seen Ben so dangerous from this position. Here it comes.
He's always saying he likes to battle back, Ben. Well, he's got to do it here. He tried to do it with Watson, but it didn't work.
Ben's legs are shaking.
Problem in Atlantic City.
So Eubank is still backing off, Reg, and you would think after the success he would come forward, try to take the play away again. Ben is...
There might be a few twitchy backers around in this quite big audience. Oh, as you say, Jim, that's when he's dangerous, isn't he? Oh, he rocked there as well. End of the third. I don't know the way he does it.
Yeah, it has. Oh, a lovely shot from you. Well, he certainly gave us a show, Reg. He said he could do the business. Well, he's mixing it and I worked it. Now, that was a lovely uppercut shot. It shoot Eubank just as it landed, but his head's cleared again.
Oh,
I think that was more of a stumble, Reg.
Well, no, he banged that left hook to the ribs as well.
5th and 6th weren't his best rounds, so he's trying to... Oh, 2 good shots now. The Ben take those, Reg.
Professes to be a master of the noble art. Oh, what? Almost came out on our lap there, Jim. A little bit of a slip. He's arguing with the referee. It was a slip. I think he was falling for that.
That That was bad.
Oh, what a shot that
Shot
is.
really shook him.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Oh, right to his bootskin.
Ben is shaking. The eyes watch Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round.
He's the hardest punch I've ever come up against in my life. I don't know. I beat him on determination. He was good, but yeah, I'd stuck with it, and he hurt me bad, man. But he extended me like I've never known one could be extended. He's definitely, the man is just an animal. You see, he's won my respect. You see, because he hurt me up the guts. He opened my tongue. My tongue's open. My tongue's open. He hurt me with shots I never knew existed. This man ain't chinny. Chinny? This man can't be chinny. I hate him with everything, man.
It's an amazing performance, and it's surprised a lot of people.
I need to go to the hospital.
I couldn't see a thing, but not taking nothing away from Eubank. What a tremendous fighter he is. He deserved it, man. He deserved it. The man beat me good, fair and square.
To Chris, you're just a business obstacle. What is he to you?
Chris is beating me, and I respect him as a boxer. That's one thing I do. He punches hard, good boxer. But as a person, I don't like the way he conducts himself. But he's beating me, and I want to go out there and even the score.
Okay. You were beaten. The last time the two of you fight, you were beaten in that fight.
Uh-huh.
Does that now make you nervous going into the ring with this man before
Not
again?
at all. He's beaten me, and I want to even the score. You know, he prepared like the champion, you know, and I didn't. And I paid the price, badly.
Speaking to you, and you told me that no one had hurt you as badly as Nigel had. In that fight.
That is correct, yeah.
Does that give you any extra feeling of fear or
Oh yeah, I'm petrified. He's no joke. This man can fight. Some money for you. He's a very dangerous opponent. No one should take him lightly.
You take him seriously?
Totally and utterly.
Oh, good right hand punch there, Jim. Right above us here. He's hurt Eubank. He looks as though Eubank was actually had the nerve to call him on there.
You have to pace yourself, and he's certainly pacing himself better. He's not wasting so many punches.
Round 5. Oh, now it's really livening up now, and it had to do that. Loves to tear up Nigel Benn now. That suits him. He wants to draw Eubank, get the swapping punches with him. Oh, right above us there, Jim, I tell you. I had to draw in my breath there with that body punch that Eubank landed. Oh, it's a good exchange, Jace. He's certainly sharpened up his boxing a lot, Eubank. He's said it to some press conferences this week, you're going to be surprised with my box. Oh, shoved him out of the ring there. Well, to give him all the time he wants to get back, I would think. He's got to get back unassisted. And
good right hand again from Ben.
But Jimmy absorbs him so well, Eubank. I'm waiting for him to go over from those punches. Referee managed to keep out of the picture as much as possible here.
And that was a slip.
No, that was a slip. Wondering now how the newspaper critics have got this around the ringside here. Sponsored, of course, by the Daily Mirror, more newspapers this fight. That's something. Not for long, the armistice was short-lived.
Good left hook from Ben.
10 seconds.
Well, I think that's turns to orders. If he can throw a punch like the trainer, he'll be all right. Oh, there's great.
Oh, good left hook. That's a beauty.
Gentlemen, the undefeated, talented James, right now, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, the IBF Middleweight Champion of the World title, taken to
Nunn's a very, very good fighter. Probably the best middleweight out there today. Nunn came fought his way out of the streets of Davenport. Some wild lefts by each fighter, neither one landing. There's Tony with a couple of body blows. Michael Nunn trying to pick his spot. Tony's come out firing, no doubt about it. Good body blow by Tony. Catches Nunn in the midsection. Nunn made his mark fighting his way out of it, literally fighting his way out of the streets of Davenport. He was in trouble a lot as a kid. And has made himself a champion. Good shot by Nunn. Right back by Tony. Two unbeaten fighters here. Tony at 25-0-1, Nunn 36-0. Right by Tony. He has Nunn against the ropes. Nunn always bobbing and weaving. Tough to get a good shot of him, and Nunn got one in there. We're nearing 10 seconds of round one. Tony coming out. Tony looks very strong here early on, and I think Michael Nunn knows he's got himself a handful of it. There's the end of round one. All right, Nunn with a little smile on his face now as he's keeping that jab. Nunn a left-hander. Tony has fought 5 left-handers before and beaten them all. Nunn's got Tony backed up a little bit, and the crowd gets into it. Of course, the crowd's going to roar on anything Nunn does. I've heard a lot of boxing actually say Nunn's really a light heavy right now.
Yeah. Keep in mind, Nunn's a big middleweight regardless.
Tony lands a pretty good left there. You can see the sweat and perspiration fly off Nunn's chin. Well, the leather flew a little bit in round one. Now round two is the pace is slow just a little bit. Michael Nunn takes a wild left himself open. Tony recovers, tries an uppercut, it won't land.
Hard to get a clean shot in on Tony right now. He's going to have to go to that body. Real low blow right there by Nunn.
At the end of the bell, and the official. He's preferring right now to slug it out with Tony.
But
there's a pretty good right by Tony. If that would have landed, that would have hurt. Tony seems to go maybe a little more to the body than Nunn is right now, Dan.
Good right by Tony there. Good combination.
They're slugging it out, these two are.
This is exactly the type of fight Tony wants. The animosity is gone right now. No one's thinking about that. They're not thinking about the weigh-in. They're thinking about this fight right now.
Body blow by Nunn. Crowd chanting Michael behind us now.
Nunn's got no body into those punches. Right there, you can just see Mike's not planting his feet.
We're inside a minute in round 3, and this has been a very entertaining fight, no doubt about it. And some concern, that staggered Nunn just a touch. Hit him on the top of the head.
Got caught more on his heels, Tom.
Nunn with a couple of big lefts. Crowd getting into it there. They are throwing some punches. Just a beautiful night here, cool by the river, and even the glare of the lights seems very comfortable here. Michael Nunn's a tough kid, no doubt about it. He likes to fight. He's got that mean streak in him. Wild left by Nunn, didn't land. Tony ducked under that one. Nunn trying to follow it up.
Getting hit by counter punches by Tony, like right there, except Tony missed. So Nunn, if he's going to stand flat-footed like he is right now and not move around, he better stay busy. Moving his feet, using his head to avoid punches. Very few fighters can do that.
Nunn with a big left, it missed. Had something on that though. Tony going toe-to-toe with Nunn. He has cut off the ring. Nunn has not done any of his bicycling, backpedaling. He's chose to slug it out here with Tony.
That's not necessarily good because this is the type of fight Tony needs.
Nunn with a couple of jabs there, body blow. Tony trying to act like it's not hurting him. That could prove costly. 30 seconds to go in round 4. Nunn with a couple of rat-a-tat-tat jabs there.
I've always felt when fighters act like they're not hurt by punches that they some way are affected by it.
Pretty good right by Tony. Got inside Nunn's left. There's an uppercut by Tony that just missed.
The best way to show a fighter that their punch didn't affect you, go right back and hit them.
Nunn trying to get Tony to chase him now. Gives him a little back of the hand there. Tony with a big right.
That can talk and back it up. I let him run off at the mouth.
That's right. A couple of good jabs by Tony there. Got inside Nunn.
Yeah, but Tony's not putting any body into these punches either. You know, those are kind of like love taps. That's not going to do anything to Nunn. Corner to Angelo, shaking his head like everything's under control. you know, I'd rather see him going out there throwing punches, countering Tony's punches.
Tony throwing a lot of punches now that aren't hitting. Nunn with a body shot. Hits him side of the head. Michael Nunn's got Tony reeling just a little bit now. Crowd picking up. Tony comes right back.
Nunn's only connected on one of those, Tom. Tony was moving away from all those punches.
The fans are getting everything they want so far. Big body shot by Nunn. Tony comes right back with a right jab. Left by Nunn reaches. Nearing the 20-second mark of round 5. Nunn again. Getting inside with a couple of jabs.
Effective. Nunn just got away with it just there.
Tony with a wild left, doesn't land. It's a right in there on Nunn there. Had a little something on it. Nunn just keeps that head. That head's always moving. Nunn kind of looked over at the Tony corner and said, he's not hurting me. He's kind of looked over.
And I can see why with the way that Tony's throwing those punches. He doesn't have any power on him.
Pretty good left by Nunn. Tony backpedaling just a little bit. And Michael kind of has picked up the fight once again.
There goes Tony with a backhand punch. I haven't seen that for years.
There's Nunn and Tony.
It's probably Tony's best round since the beginning of the fight, Tom. Right now, Nunn's got to realize when he throws that jab out there to follow it up with the left hand. If he doesn't do that, Tony comes in with that right hand like that.
Nearing the minute mark, round 7. Both fighters have thrown some punches this round, but neither one's really landed. Been a pretty even round.
There's a good right hand.
When Tony throws that right, he seems to land it. You wonder why he doesn't throw it a little more.
Well, you know, sometimes Nunn keeps you in that position where he keeps you off balance, but if Nunn doesn't start throwing that left and Tony understands that that right's open every time, it could start being his big punch.
Body shot by Nunn as we near the 22nd mark of round 7. Big uppercut by Michael. He likes that one. That got Kalambay.
Was Nunn switching the right hand. He used to do that a lot in the gym back at home, but didn't utilize it too much in fights. Lately Curry and then the Starlings. He's got to go out there and take it to him.
Yeah, that's really against the ropes there. There's a couple landed by Tony as Nunn was doing some talking and didn't cover up.
Shouldn't have shaken his head. He should have come right back and started throwing punches rather than talking.
Sometimes a little jiving can get you in trouble. And Nunn paid for it that time. There's a good right by Tony. Still on the shoulder there, and the right has been there.
See, all those tactics that Mike uses against the ropes are good if you're way ahead in the fight and all that. Right, he receives a great left hook from Tony. But what he's got to do is he can't play games like that. He's got to go out there and he's got to take these guys seriously. He should be just throwing punches constantly at Tony. Gets hit with another overhand right.
We're heading toward 30 seconds left in round 8. And Tony has done some damage to Nunn here this round.
Tony's the busier fighter in this round also.
Oh, there, that one got him. That one got home. He's got Nunn hurt a little bit. Some vicious right left by Tony, and Tony trying to follow up on it. Nunn's clinching. That uppercut shook Nunn's head too. Michael now fighting for survival. And trying to take it right back.
Good left by Nunn.
Well, Tony, Nunn needed a wake-up call. He just got it. Now the crowd getting into it. As Nunn responds, Tony comes back with a right. Tony's corner is up. They like the way their fighters going at it.
Well, I think Nunn realized this in the last 30 seconds that he got hit pretty well by Tony, and he better get serious if he wasn't. Now Nunn's been throwing the leather, but Tony's come back.
Long right by Tony, and now Nunn using those ropes again to his advantage as he ducks out of the way after a vicious right by Tony. That would have landed, Nunn would have really been in trouble. They're looking, saw Nunn gaze at the corner a little bit. At this stage of the fight, what's he looking for?
Right now, he better be looking for a hammer because Tony's taking advantage of Nunn looking everywhere else. Tony's hit him with some great shots this round.
This round, clearly.
Nunn is hurt. I'm telling you right now. His legs are wobbly there.
Big round for James Toney.
It's the first time that I can remember ever seeing Nunn in trouble.
You can see it in his eyes just a little bit. Not quite so cocksure. Ringside on the Riverside in Davenport, Iowa. There's that right by Toney again. What does how close this fight is? What does this do to Nunn's confidence? We're inside a minute. Ooh.
Good right counter by Nunn.
And Nunn has to reach down a little bit here and find out what got him to 36-0. Big right by Toney. Nunn doing his best to duck out of the way. Crowd's chanting for Michael. Those lefts just won't go.
Well, the fans haven't had much to cheer about here for their hometown hero, Nunn. They're trying to spur him on right now to get Toney out of there. He just hurt him right there. He just hurt Nunn right there. He's going to come out here to do a job. And right now, he's done it.
And it's been that right hand that has been Nunn's nemesis. Nunn using the ropes. Toney takes a wild swing, falls into him, and there's vintage Nunn. On the ropes, big right hand by Toney. A minute 40 here in round 11.
I never felt safe with any type of decision. That's a combination of a good shot and Nunn going backwards.
A little momentum provided by Toney sent Nunn back against the ropes.
But what I was saying is I never felt comfortable taking any fight on a decision because you never know how another judge was looking at something. And if Toney wants his championship for sure, he better try to knock Nunn down.
Oh, he did it.
Right there.
He came back with a left and Nunn is down. Nunn.
They better get their corner off, I'll tell you.
This corner is up. James Toney
he's not going to make it up.
And I don't think Nunn's going to get up. His crowd trying to get him back. Nunn looking at it, and they're going to let him fight.
I'll tell you, he's
seconds to go. Nunn better be careful. Nunn better be careful. He's down. He's hurt. Will they stop this fight? Toney trying to finish him off. The towel is thrown in.
I'll tell you.
They threw the towel in. James Toney
it's that left
just stunned.
They stopped it.
Michael,
We've got a new IBF middleweight champion of the world.
We have a new IBF middleweight champion of the world. James,
amazing,
lights out Toney. Unbelievable. His knockout, Michael Nunn, in his hometown. Nunn did not know what hit him.
One thing is sure, this fight is not going to go to a decision. The really waste of funds in promoting this fight was hiring judges.
Most explosive and dynamic boxer is determined to make a successful first defense of his world middleweight title. But standing in his way is the hard man, Iran the Blade Barkley. Barkley has in his time challenged for the other three versions of the world title. He won the WBC championship 2 years ago, but since then things have all gone wrong for 30-year-old Barkley. He soon lost that title to Roberto Duran. He then made an unsuccessful challenge to the IBF champion Michael Nunn. And then 9 months ago he needed laser surgery for a detached retina of the left eye. A serious injury, and as a result the British Boxing Board of Control refused to sanction this fight against Ben in England. The Nevada Commission though gave it the go-ahead. Added to those problems, Barkley sadly lost his 72-year-old father last weekend through cancer. But the eyesight of Barkley is the key to this fight.
The eye is no problem. The eye is rearing and ready to go, and y'all will see Saturday how well I can see good out of this eye. Y'all will see Saturday.
Well, Ben is the hot favorite to win. It's certainly going all right for the 26-year-old at the moment, but his career did appear to be in pieces when he suffered his only defeat. That was in the big London match with Michael Watson in May of last year. That 7th round defeat sent Ben scurrying to the United States to rebuild his career in Miami with new trainer Vic Andretti. Despite a suspect chin, Ben's skill, condition and attitude have improved. And after 3 fights, his biggest chance arrived. A world title fight against WBO holder Doug DeWitt in Atlantic City.
More control and it'll all be over. Yes, that's it. It's all over. 3rd knockdown, and in the 8th round, Nigel Benn has won the WBO Middleweight Championship of the world.
There's talk that Barkley has had a lot of trouble getting weight off. He denies that. He said, yes, when I had my retina problem, I wasn't unable to do my road work. But in the last month or so, I've been down to the middleweight. Had land and hope and glory. And there's the quick rundown, then the tail of the tape. Only 1 loss, of course, on Benn's record against Michael Watson. But this is one hard nut around Barkley. He's still got plenty of lead in his legs. Well, Benn's in for a rough night. Played into Land of Hope and Glory, Ben. He really enjoyed that, sung by a Cockney character.
Well, Ben caught him with the very first shot, Reg, a right hand, and he staggered them already.
Well, oh my God. He's done him on the ropes in the first minute. He's having to pull him off, Padilla, and he's objecting to that, Ben. He's probably saying that you pushed him after you hit him, and now he's giving him the standing 8 count. What a surprise. This fella's been through this before, of course, got off the deck to defeat Tommy Hearns, but can he get over this one? This is a sensational start by the Dark Destroyer.
Barkley's still badly stunned, Reg. He hasn't recovered from that. No defence, he's trying to fire back. This could be all over in the first minute of the fight, Reg.
And one of the odds layers made Ben their favourite in this city. They didn't allow local prejudice at all with Barkley, who's a bit of a favourite. Oh, and now he's tagged Ben. It's got to happen in a battle of punches. It's going to happen. One has to go. Well, he can't hang his chin up on a platter like that, Ben. That's dangerous. What a sensational start. We always think we've seen it all, but we didn't envisage this, did we?
Both men so careless, Reg. And Nigel Benn really on top, and he's let Barkley right back into the action. Both men still badly shaken. Benn in trouble at the moment.
Coming in with Ben, they're really punishing, but it's a question now who's got the stronger chin, not only the chin but the will by the look of it, Jim.
Well, Ben's got his chin nice and low on the ropes there, Reg, where it should be, and his own shots are good. Ben must keep his chin just down that little bit lower.
Remember that Barkley took a pasting from Hearns and came back, but maybe those days have caught up with him a bit, Jim. Oh, that shook him right to the boots, but Barkley there. He had to go down in his... Well, he's caught him on the canvas here. There's a lot of objections from the crowd and booing.
That's the second time Ben's thrown punches when Barkley's been on the floor. He could end up disqualified here.
I think it's unlikely. They have the no-foul rule. It'll take the points away from him. What a round. He's done him again. Remember now, the 3 knockdown rule of WBO is in effect if he goes down once more in this round. No, he stopped it already. Carlos Padilla is saying this man can't go on. It's a compassionate act. Ben will not be too popular in this country. That was the 3rd time he went down, Jim, actually. I didn't know whether he was going to count that as a knockdown in view of the warning.
Yeah, I think that's the 3 knockdown rule, Reg. I think that's what's been imposed here.
So they went through the count there and made sure they got through the count before he stopped it. What a sensational, in the last minute of the opening round. Well, we're not that surprised, Jim, because we knew it would go one way or the other, and Ben has been he's been so confident about beating Barkley all the way through, and it seems almost incredible, really, that he's not recognised in Britain by the official Boxing Board of Control, because they are not affiliated to the World Boxing Organisation. Jim?
Well, Ben the fight was almost over in the first seconds, but Ben got a little bit careless. Here we go. We'll see if he hits him on the floor here, Reg. See, he's still making to punch him. Padilla trying to pull him away from there. Ben a little bit dangerous with his tactics once he got Barkley onto the floor. The good punches all the way through, and when the time came, Ben's defence was that little bit tighter than Barkley's, and I think that's what got him through here today. See, there he is, blatantly punching him when he was on the floor.
It's no use anybody saying, well, Barkley's not the man he was. It's these punches that landed that did the damage.
Yeah, those were good shots. Barkley has proved, although he may not be as good as it was, his chin's is sound. What it took from Tommy Hearns, and here Ben has stopped him in one round. An excellent performance from Nigel Benn.
And really, it's a great pity now if we're not going to see Ben. So he's looking down at the timekeeper there, Jim, wasn't he, to make sure that he considered that a count. It was a bit confusing, that. But he was going to win it anyway, whether it was a third knockdown or not. And he's getting, there's quite a contingent of the Benns here, you can imagine, and he's cheering them on. Let's get into the singing. Here we go, here we go.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Here's Nigel Benn. A sensational retention of your title there, Nigel. Can I just say, first of all, it did look as if you were taking a few punches.
Yeah, obviously, you know, fighting someone of Barkley's caliber, you're expected to trade punches. And then, really, I wanted to trade punches with him and just to see how sharp the blade really is. And he was tough. He caught me with a couple of good shots. But I wanted to let everybody know, you know, I can take a shot as well, and I can damn well give one.
There's a slight edge to Mike McCallum in size and also reach advantage by a couple of inches, but not really all that much. The last time I saw Kalambay was his victory for the championship of the WBA. They're around not exactly brimming with action as they feed each other up. Get ready to go.
McCallum threw a real good low blow.
If there is such a...
McCallum, you know, has those long arms, and when he's...
He digs that, but that was in legal territory. He's above the belt.
Kalambay slipping punches real well. That's the awful
station. The first native-born Jamaican to win 24 knockouts. But McCallum, who bangs hard down.
Kalambay is much slicker than I thought he was.
Yes, he is.
He's slipping punches well, and he's countering.
Well, you see the experience on both men coming out here as this round comes to an end.
If McCallum just throw one or two shots.
Kalambay on the right now, gets a good solid shot. And Sambu Kalambay, who's become one of them. And started boxing, attended the Ali Foreman fight in Zaire. You remember that one, well, Angelo, and he goes to the... My card, Angelo, there's a good exchange right there. Patricio Kalambay of Italy as round 5 draws to a close in Pesaro.
Oh, McCallum's picking up the pace, but...
Right to the midsection of McCallum and a combination with both hands, scoring.
This middleweight thing easy, but the thing I noticed after the weigh-in, he was sucking on a lot of liquid. They both made the way he let that shot go. That was an old move.
They could age before your eyes, in other words.
That's
almost.
right. He's very slick, and he slides the punches, and he counters well. Don't fight the way he is.
Well, he's definitely losing it right now. They're sitting right behind us, and obviously very confident with McCallum. Can't get any...
Uppercut.
Have known what Kalambay can do for quite some time. My card, I have it 6-1-1, and I could be generous in terms of what I've given. In any event, a huge lead for... But he must be ever mindful of the fact that he still can get hurt by McCallum, but he is hurting him at this stage. But he possibly can.
Well, he can't time his shot because it's the cuteness of Kalambay. He's trying to time a right hand. He got nailed the right hand himself.
Steps into a ring.
He reaches for the fella. He's not close enough to nail him.
Not there. And Tank is heading for E.
That's it.
Not much of those McCallum punches now. He's a tired boxer through 10 rounds. Oh, what a shot right there. Very happy to stay up this late because they're enjoying what they're seeing.
See with that local element.
See, McCallum is pawing at him now, and he pays a big price when he does come after Kalambay, like right here. Kalambay just too quick.
McCallum's total frustration, pushing him off, trying to nail him.
He's about to take a beating here, it looks like. Round 11.
Sergeant put a lot of cold water outside.
Soaking wet. That is to get in a heavy blow that he's been not able to do all night long.
A knockout.
There's not half the fun against this guy. Cut McCallum did that we haven't seen all night. Usually he's got a pretty complete reaction.
Well, this youngster hit him with some real good punches.
Another good counter punch right there. Champion.
Counter puncher.
So Mike McCallum, barring a miracle here, is seconds away from his... We'll be back with a decision for you in just a moment. But it's a unanimous decision for Patricio Kalambay.
ABC also, go.
And his...
McCallum in the red trunks, Tony in the gold trunks. Tony defending his IBF middleweight championship against a man who gave up a middleweight championship, Mike McCallum did, rather than to give in to the WBA on its choice.
I let him keep boxing.
Jab and left hook
pace rather than in the spurts he did in the first fight. But he's spurting right now.
Start the action. He doesn't want his fighter to get into a counter-punching duel with McCallum, who's a terrific left hand behind it is blocked. Tony with a solid left. There's a left hand by McCallum. Because they respect each other, right, George?
Once you have respect, you do have respect.
McCallum landed the left, but was backing up.
And they warned McCallum in the corner to watch, don't let him steal you with that right hand. And Tony stole him.
Battle of technique. And if it is, it plays into McCallum's favor. Tony landing a left hand and a right hand and another left tonight to go to the body. Something he forgot about in their December fight. Good right hand by McCallum. Set up by the triple left jab. Round number 3. Not been followed with consistent action throughout.
Another good right hand by Tony.
There's a good right hand. You're right, George. Temporarily wobbled. Another right hand by James Tony. And McCallum comes back harder shots.
That's right, and the judges are going to have to pay a lot of attention to that, especially...
Tony with the right uppercut. McCallum lands a left and a right inside. The two fighters trading solid punches as we come down.
And here is Tony firing. He said his fists would be the judges. Here comes the judge.
There were two body shots, a left and a right by McCallum. So far in this bout, he's averaging only two good body shots from Tony and a left hand that split McCallum's defense. Right hand over the top by McCallum landed. And Mike just misses with the solid right cross that would have done some damage. Uppercuts inside for Tony land. Both fighters, his effort and biding his time in the first 6 rounds. George, would you endorse that strategy?
I think so, because that's the one thing the younger fighters don't have, patience. And they lose a lot of fights because of impatience.
Left hook landed for Tony, but it was a glancing blow. And the right hand for Tony. And McCallum goes back to the body and then back upstairs. Right hand shot for Tony. Both fighters flurrying to the body inside. Tony's right hand was blocked. of a 12-round battle.
McCallum is having a hard time figuring out Tony also. Doesn't know exactly what he's going to do.
But there he lands a series that he feels as though he can do whatever he wants.
And I think it's the latter. He sits back to admire his work.
Real hard blows. McCallum goes back to the body. Referee Joe Cortez warned him between rounds to keep him up. Mike just missing with a long left hand there, and Tony lands the left hook.
McCallum is in.
Doesn't work harder to try to exert pressure on Mike McCallum.
Coming in too light, too quick. He's probably been like that for 8 to 10 days.
Right hand over the top landed for Tony. Another disagreement between Larry Merchant and Harold Letterman as to whether it did any damage.
All right, seconds out. And here's a flurry by Tony. Good left hand. Staying in tight. Both fighters within punching.
Nearly 100 fewer punches and landed 75 fewer. But yet Harold Letterman has Tony ahead. This is the dilemma for scorers at this bout. Round 8. Champion James Tony.
35 years old. He's been throwing 70 punches around.
Come on. Didn't seem significant enough to warrant the deduction of a point. Now McCallum and Tony are giving and taking against the ropes. Here in Nevada now, he'll put his imprint on the fight. Both fighters trying to go to the body inside. And Tony is the busier of the two for the moment. Round 8 has been a good one for James Tony, who has applied more pressure to McCallum, the two fighters. Tony working harder now again to begin round 9. Lands a left hand. McCallum comes right back. Body, body, body. 2 minutes of various rounds. When he wants to press the action, when Tiberi's home state senator from Delaware, Senator Roth, decided to convene a subcommittee after Tony was given a split decision over Tiberi.
Tony also has an extra point from that referee's decision. There is a good left hand, perhaps the best shot.
Harold Letterman saw enough to give him the round. So you see why James Tony creates questions for fans, scorers, and opponents. Margins, there's a potential small edge for Tony. 3 scorecards just to merit a draw, as it turned out. He got the job done. Now McCallum has Tony backed into a corner and is landing. Right hand landed for Tony. McCallum tries to come back with the left. McCallum blocking shots to the body from Tony and going to the body himself.
And I think picking up.
Hey, watch the head, guys.
Another brief boxing clinic to end round 10. Right hand landed by Tony.
My kind of degrees.
I guess she's a nutritionist of sorts, huh?
I like those guys. Come on.
That's your kind of nutrition. She can do it too. We ate some of those. Some understanding of the nuance, the subtle details of the sport, to be able to clearly winning the fight. 2 careers at stake now as round 12 begins. In the gold trunks, you have an undefeated young champion hoping to move on towards superstar status in the sport. In the red trunks, one of the great cults. So it would appear to us.
The thing about it, the judges are fans, was giving good advice in the meeting yesterday.
Yes, Harold Letterman gave good advice to James Tony when he told him he should fight all 3 minutes of every round. Less than 30 seconds to go. You saw Tony throw the hard right hand, hoping to bring rain, but it didn't happen. And McCallum goes back to the body, trying to flurry one last time for the judges. And McCallum adopts the body language of the winner, while Tony simply stalks around the ring.
And still, middleweight champion of the world, James Lights Out Tony.
He wasn't really thinking that Tony has anything to make him scared, you know, and that's kind of a good look. Yeah, but this fight's not over. He'll get it back some other kind of way. But the hand speed.
Here and now. Good exchange. Tony moving well. Moving the body from side to side. Dipping. Good right hand from Tony. Oh, Callum comes back at him.
Using the body, using the head. Nice uppercut there by
from Tony, yeah. Callum was the leaping right in the second round.
Tony is a very dangerous guy. Good puncher.
I'll tell you, he landed a solid right hand. McCallum ate it up and is coming back.
He's throwing those punches real well. I like the way he's fighting.
Oh, good Tony with the right. Ruled the split.
Nice uppercut by McCallum.
McCallum with the combination. The thing that Mike McCallum is most famous for, and that's his body attack.
Exactly.
No, and he landed another right hand.
Oh, with these type of bodies.
For a 35-year-old over 12 rounds. But here he goes with the jab here in the fourth round. McCallum, Tony comes back with another right hand. That's been his bread and butter punch. Another one. And McCallum comes right back with a right of his own.
There's always a lot of excitement in the middleweight division. Nice right hand.
And Tony came back with a right of his own. Now they mix it up.
Catching him solid.
Right. Oh, another right from Tony.
I mean, he can.
And the right uppercut, another right hand from James Tony. And McCallum comes right back, and Tony with a right, as if he didn't get hit.
This is what,
a strong right hand from McCallum.
This is where the experience comes from.
The overhead replay here, you see that double jab. Right hand landed well on Tony's chin. Really stopped him in his tracks, and another short right hand. But here comes Tony back with his own counter right uppercut.
You can tell both these guys are in tremendous shape.
Oh, strong right hand from Tony. It's obviously a slow from that dynamite fourth round.
Well, this is what I speak about now. McCallum
urged him to do that. And when he is working that jab, he's being successful with it. But right now, McCallum's jab has landed 93 times to 60 times to Tony 60 times through 5.5 rounds. But that's still a lot for Tony. Oh, another right hand.
McCallum's using that jab very well.
Ooh. Tony catches him again.
Well, Tony looks so much pressure out of the both fighters at this moment.
Oh, good luck. Oh, good right hand by Tony, and it did buckle McCallum there. Another right from Tony, and Tony goes after him. That right hand. Oh, right to the body. Good counter right hand off of McCallum. McCallum, bingo. They trade right hands. Tony drops his head and avoids McCallum. Yeah. You can tell they're throwing with so much power. Either of these guys could really...
Nice right hand by Tony again. He's got a beautiful right hand.
Oh.
Nice.
That was sweet.
In the nose.
Oh, good combination from Tony. Good right uppercut, left hook by Tony, but McCallum answered with his own left hook.
Fighters do drop the hands.
Oh, good exchanges.
Well, the people are actually...
McCallum still low. Oh, good right hand from Tony again.
Try to end this fight quick as they can.
Oh. McCallum snuck in.
It's actually working for McCallum as far as his hand speed.
McCallum goes after Tony. Finish up to 7.
I'm very impressed with both of these fighters.
Another right from Tony. Stronger right hands have come from Tony. Puts that shoulder up nice when he wants to block that right hand. He's not. Oh, comes out of there. Good combination from James Tony. Fight. 15 seconds to go in this 8th.
McCullen's trying to stay tight now with Tony, which is a smart move for him because you're not getting caught with the right hand as much now.
And in turn is landing a few good body shots in there.
Sure. But there's nothing on him, but he's protected.
I think that was an important round. Here we go. On the replay here, you got James Tony counter right hand right on the chin, but look at McCallum come back. It's amazing.
See, exactly.
Good McCallum right hand. Tony tries to come back. Oh, wildly.
Nice move.
Oh,
nice move.
Another body shot with the right from McCallum, and Tony comes back at it. Oh.
Good counter right hand by Tony, but there's McCallum. Now you know why he's been champ since 1984.
Exactly. More aggressive this round.
Oh! And a bomb from Tony. And that one wobbled McCallum. And another right. Oh! Tony comes after him here at the end. Oh my! Tony landing.
Nice hook. This is what I was speaking about.
Knocked his mouthpiece out. Tony knocked McCallum's mouthpiece out with that left hook. And there goes Smoger to pick it up. That was a dynamite left hook. Another one. Another right from Tony. Oh! Tony didn't run into the body. And the left. Tony's trying to... Here he comes, left hook, right hand, and that did wobble McCallum. Look at his legs shake. And Tony just missing with some punches that maybe could have put McCallum down. Only all fights could be like this. Here's the nice slip by Tony, rocking back, coming back with that uppercut. Just some real magnificent boxing here. This is what... hand from Tony. Wow. Just as the round came to a close. I think McCallum's really got to go for broke here. I've given Tony the last 3-4 rounds here. Oh, good right uppercut by McCallum. Tony had landed a left hook moments before. Right. But he followed that uppercut he got hit with, Tony did.
Be the fight of the year here in Atlantic City.
Oh, yeah. Good right hand by McCallum. Oh! The left from Tony. Oh! And Tony goes after McCallum. Oh! Oh! The right hand from Tony. Another right into the ropes. He's got McCallum hurt badly, and he's still got a minute 15 to right uppercut from Tony. McCallum still standing. This was a great show.
You like to see McCullen hang in there.
Oh! Another left from Tony. And another left hook. That's it. And he goes down punching in the 12th round. What a finish from James Tony. Beginning of the last round here, Tony with that left hook buckles McCallum terribly and misses wildly, of course, with that one. And McCallum, just unbelievable how he stood up to this final assault by James Tony.
I think Tony earned a lot of fans here tonight, Joe. You know,
right
McCallum was the heavy favorite.
Across the ring, and here we go again, that right uppercut by Tony. Bingo, left hook.
Look at that one.
Right on the nose.
Three-way split. Ladies and gentlemen, the bout is a draw. Let's hear it for both of these great fighters here tonight.
Absolutely.
Are they going to let him continue?
He's getting plenty of attention in the corner.
They're letting him come out. I think the doctor says maybe just give him one more round or something.
He could well be.
That's the position. And Jackson looking grim-faced. The chance of becoming world middleweight title remote. And if his time is numbered, he will give it everything. And that's what I think what he's going to try and do. Graham wrestles into the canvas. No knockdown, says Joe Cortez. Graham says, you want to mix it? We'll mix it. Nice touch, nice touch.
Even as he touched bomber was on his back foot. Smart move.
I tell you, even a world title fight, still have time for sportsmanship like that. That's wonderful to see. Jackson, I think, realizes that he isn't going to be allowed to continue for too long.
No, he's going for the one shot, and we know he's got the power and he's capable.
He can take Graham with one shot. So under no illusion about that.
Bomber needs to keep his wits about him here, like he never has done before. Because this man knows he can't go 12 rounds the way that injury is now. He's going to be looking to end it here and now.
Jackson's woes started in round 2. A big right from Graham. The eye was gone. That, I think, the eye that he's had the detached retina problems with.
Good shot from
rocked. Looking desperately for the big one-punch finish, Jackson, but can't find it.
There's not a worse opponent I could predict to have in front of him, trying to put a one-punch knockout and elbow McClellan. Now this man is elusiveness like you've never known. Absolutely fantastic defensive boxer. From the days when he used to go in pubs and tie his hands behind his back and let would-be pub guys try and take him out. They couldn't do it.
Another good round for Graham. Americans corner waving him on, trying to get him off the ropes, but Jackson has so little. in comparison to Graham tonight.
Jackson, to his credit, sticking to his task, as desperate as it is.
But falling ever further behind him. Oh no! That's what we were worried about. He won't get up from that.
He's out.
A right hand. It's all over.
He is out.
Oh, would you believe it?
Unbelievable.
Would you believe it? And he's still out.
When you can punch like that, Dave, what can you say?
Oh, that is such cruel misfortune, but Julian Jackson, what can you say?
The biggest shock I've ever seen, and I've seen boxing over the years, but I've never seen anything like that. Graham was so in control. That's a real tragedy.
Jackson, you never know, this might have been the last round that he would have been allowed out for, Jim.
I think it probably was. It goes back to what we were saying earlier, that Errol had to be his most elusive at that moment in time, and Jackson was going to be desperate. He knew he couldn't go to 12 rounds, and he was just going to gamble all on the knockout, and that's what's happened.
And Harold Graham, I'm afraid, still out on the canvas.
About, it's not as though he was coming to do for Eubank and hit on the break. He didn't announce break, of course, but it was a bit obvious. Which though stop Eubank going walkabout.
Anyway, positive. I look for success. He looks forward here.
He loves soldier.
You can see the sharpness in Eubank's moves. He has total concentration. Full concentration.
He's admitted in the past that he's this one. Ben, of course, very diligent trainer anyway.
Ben always has trouble against.
Since he last fought Ben, that's
amazing. To do better. He just seems to do enough. All of them fired up.
I think Eubank wants to wipe away the thought of that kind of dreary draw that he got the Irishman Ray Close in Scotland last time up. The crowd are enjoying that too. What a turnout it is. It's all the celebrity newspaper literati, of course. It's the sharpest we've seen Eubank now.
Yeah, well, as I say, I think the Ben business was, so there's no way he's not got himself properly prepared for this.
The punch so well, Jim Eubank doesn't. It's true he's been down, although I think this has got to follow the punch. He tripped over a left hook as well. A pretty bright start.
A lot of people, I mean, I quite enjoy the arrogance that Eubank brings into the ring. I think it's all part of the show. They want to see him maybe knock down a peg or two. But a good right hand lead from Eubank. See, Ben has to pay more attention. It's not quite as intense as the first half. Yeah, it's not so bad in the summer months like that.
Too many of them, that could interfere with the family allowance.
No, not really careful.
12 stone or 168 pounds for work. Chuck Hassett, Manaheim. Oh, good right hand punch there, Jim. Right above us here. He's hurt Eubank. He looks as though Eubank was actually had the nerve to call him on him, I'll tell you that.
See, this is where Ben must keep himself under control and get the punches flowing. See, he's marching forward, but he's taking his movements for sharp. But Ben's getting through with the shot. It's the right hand.
He's in the best shape he could possibly be in. Maybe his time.
I don't think it's so much pace yourself, and he's certainly pacing himself better. He's not wasting so many punches, but he's still very open.
Round 5. Oh, now it's really livening up now, and it had to do that. Loves to tear up Nigel Benn now. That suits him. He wants to draw Eubank at the
Get into life there, Reg.
All that.
I wonder if they're trying to sustain this one. Ben reckless again, Reg. I mean,
yeah, he's calling him on. That's crazy.
This is crazy. It's the power to hurt him. Why is he doing this?
He's certainly listening faithfully, I think. It really is living up now to expectations, don't you think?
This is what we expected, Reg, but Ben is the one doing all the silly things here. I mean, he knows himself.
Oh, right above the surgeon, I tell you. I have to draw in my breath strong as anything, actually, in the stomach pain.
Anything to worry him so far. I mean, it's not really been classic boxing.
He's insulted both of them. To walk in and have a bang up. It's an exciting fight tonight, Eubank. So the replay, Jim, looks as though it's going to live up now to the first fight, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's catching fire now, Reg. I mean, there's been some untidy punching, not too many good clean shots. Let's say the two. But the excitement...
He's being forced to trade.
Well, Eubank knows he's the stronger of the two.
Oh, some good punches there, Jim. Well, that's a blow for Ben. Yeah.
Eubank actually complained about it. He's going to have to... Eubank starting out to put some stuff. A good right hand from him.
Oh, it's a good exchange, Jace. He's certainly sharpened up his boxing a lot, Eubank. He's said it to some press conferences this week. You're going to be surprised with my box. Oh!
That one's troubled Eubank. No, he's taking it well again. Good right hand again from Ben.
Yeah, but Jimmy absorbs him so well, Eubank. Yeah. Now then, let's have a look at this in replay now. See if we can see this low punch. Oh. Well, as I said, right above us. Whoop, there he comes. Round 7.
No, Ben's moving his head from side to side as he comes forward. But Eubank's time and just that was, I expected the opposite. Eubank to be the one with the sharp counter.
Still trying to use the uppercut occasionally.
When he misses with one punch, Reg, he's got nothing else to do. He's attacking what people.
Referee managing to keep out of the picture as much as possible here. Could really decide the winner. How have you got it, Jim?
I've got Ben in front, Reg. I think Eubank has a lot to do here. He's not boxing well at all. Moving around sharply, looking inside. He's been throwing little clips around the ears.
Early on, I thought...
Do you wonder about his stamina? See a little missing again. And Ben still has plenty of steam left.
Wondering now how the newspaper critics have got this around the ringside here. Sponsored, of course, by the Daily Mirror, more newspapers this fight.
To hand it to Ben, the natural fighter, Reggie. He can afford now to really raise the pace, a steady pace. He must have plenty left for Ben to raise it.
Oh, this is not for long. The armistice was short-lived.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, that'll go against him with the judges.
Well, not a good performance from Eubank so far, Reg, because he's going to need it. Looking a little bit ragged as well now, Reg.
Jim is really...
No, there's not. Ben actually looks a little bit as though one of the earlier...
But the referee was quite amused by it all.
He gave the hand, Reg, and then threw the punch at the same time. Not really gentlemanly conduct, was it?
And would you put Ben in front?
Yeah, still Ben in front, Reg. A lot of scuffling and untidy stuff. Okay, the event's made it.
Oh, there's right.
Oh, good left hook. That's a beauty.
Yeah, he's stumbling a bit there, Eubank. The legs are starting to betray him a bit. Remember, he went down and then came back, of course, for that.
Well, that was the beauty there. He was banging the chin. He put an excellent chin.
And once more now, 2 American judges, and one from England, Harry Gibbs. I don't think by the referee. Much in it though. It's a bit seesaw.
I've got Ben in front there. You always think he's been busier in the time that
protecting his chin. He got it up there though.
And Jones managed to thunder one left hook behind Tony's guard.
Tony has to punch back.
Tony hasn't.
Orthodox punches. They come from all angles.
Right hand to the body by Jones.
Trying to walk in, put a little pressure, physical and mental, on Jones, and Jones.
And the left hook got behind the guard, Gil. Jones wobbled Tony just slightly with that left hook.
Quickness and reflex, Jim. I mean, he makes Tony miss, and he's so quick countering.
Get out the rope, get up.
Showboating by Jones. He tempts fate, I think. Left hook, and down goes Tony.
You know, his seat.
In 91, this, if it is officially scored as a knockdown, is the second time. Good hook by Tony.
Come on, punch it out, yeah.
And more quickness inside from...
Here's part of the debate going on with hand gestures and fists. We don't see from that angle whether Jones indeed went down. Perhaps we'll have another angle that we can see it. Here it'll tell us right now. You see his...
Solid left hook there. Tony talking to Jones.
Again, what talking doesn't do you a bit of good. And the other guy, something's bothering him because he traps Jones and gets beats to the punch time after time.
Well, there was a good left by Jones as he wound the right hand. Be tough because of Jones's quickness and defense.
And if Jones finds himself comfortably ahead, he can certainly kill the clock. Big left hook by Jones. 2 left hooks.
Tony pretending not to be hurt, but he's wobbled. Now James lands a right hand in.
Jones is supposed to be the unorthodox guy.
Solid left.
Fast hands if we can see him, because James Tony doesn't apparently able to see.
Who'd never been down or out. So it's not out of the question, but this is still all Roy Jones as round 7 begins.
But again,
solid left. Tony in a little bit of trouble.
Again, Jones is really never directly in front of James Tony.
He timed a round here that you might have given to the champion. 68 pounds, 8 pounds up from the old middleweight limit of 160.
Again, Jones comes back in the exchanges. Good left hook by James Tony.
Best punch of the fight for Tony, the left hook.
Straight punches, they just wiped right off of Jones.
I thought that Tony was hurt a couple of times during the fight, Larry. Not seriously, but hurt.
How about now? How about right now?
He's just being completely overwhelmed. And
I think a left hook to the body hurt James Tony badly to set this up. Found off after he took that crushing left to the body early on. There's a left hook by James Tony. And Jones comes back with a fury. World champion.
Boy, there are a lot of people who bet on him. Jones nailed Tony with a solid left hook. Now, if this was taken away from Roy Jones, it would be worse than the Olympic.
And new super middleweight champion of the world.
Fighters at the 160-pound neighborhood. Jones 159.5. Didn't arrive in town until Thursday. Trained in Pensacola. Some speculate that he had trouble making weight.
Respect the bell at all times and protect yourself at all times. Touch him up. Can't go unless we touch him. Touch him up, guys. God bless. Let's rock.
All right. Roy Jones.
That's why it's such a great match. about Roy Jones is he's very seldom used. Hopkins is not jabbing either. There's that
in the first round than is normally the case. Left hook to the body by
condition, and the drive. There's a good right
hand to the body. Like the fight on the rope. In space, as they knew, middleweight champion ever, would you believe it, is gaining confidence, but maybe he loses some. And referee Steve Smoger tells Jones
relaxed at all up to this point.
That's the position from which Muhammad Ali used to throw the jab.
Right hand left hook.
Single attempted body punch. Hopkins with in prison doing hard time for a chain snatching.
By Roy Jones. Right hand left hook.
Jones with the right hand. Hopkins misses the right hand.
Gets nailed jumping in, but because has never been in the ring with a guy like Roy Jones.
Jones lands the left hand in close as Hopkins.
But you notice
but no early knockout tonight, as 5 rounds are in the books, and after 4 rounds without a single such attempt.
Roy Jones made to escape from the ropes. Just unbelievable, just all natural talent.
Hopkins fighting back in the middle of the ring. Jones.
And Hopkins threw some nice counter punches. Short to Jones, flurry to the body. There's Jones.
First world title of his career.
To get out of the way at the same time he's throwing the punch.
He's beginning to duck away from Roy's combinations a little bit.
Caught Jones coming in. I'm not really trying to confuse Hopkins now.
To this fight to go to a 12-round to
something significant.
Again, the big will land the left hook to the body.
He turns southpaw again, away from the ropes effectively. Lands the right, makes it work, Gil.
Again,
with the wrist chin, Gil.
No, I think it's a question that he hasn't hit Hopkins. That's natural talent.
Roy Jones is no Ray Leonard.
Not yet, that's for sure.
Punch and never came along instead of trying to set it up.
Hopkins stepped away.
Moves around well and controls the fight.
And East Coast referee's game, trying to win his hit. The vacant IBF middleweight title.
Going to the body first, then back up to the head. He can just good, solid professional.
For our big heavyweight championship fight upcoming. The crowd has retained all of its potential enthusiasm.
That's it, fellas. That's it, fellas.
Middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Tonight, the challenger, known as the G-Man, Gerald McClellan. The current defending WBC middleweight champion of the world, Julian "The Hawk" Jackson. Let's get it on.
Jackson starts in a hurry, as you can see. Nice, good.
There it is, that big right hand. McClellan's waiting with the jab and timing him on the way in. Something we spoke about earlier. Using that jab, bam, the right hand over the top.
McCallum can bang, as we said. You got to look for this guy early.
Left hook, he himself, for just a minute there, was stubborn and staggered.
That's the best thing that Jackson does, is come back from being hurt.
Reckless, and he came out very calm, but here he is. He is attacking Julian Jackson.
And Jackson.
Plagued Jackson in the past few fights. He's knocked so many people out so easily that he doesn't pay as much attention to defense.
Oh, 2 good body shots exchanged, one by Jackson, one by McClellan. These guys are not good body shots, using his jab effectively. Jackson's fighting very well here.
And now lunging shots by Julian Jackson, but not having any effect on McClellan, who comes back strong, but back comes Jackson.
Well, I don't know if either one of these two guys got anything in mind except survival here. And Gerald
Gerald McClellan back. Now Jackson beginning to
set up that right hand. And now Jackson winging big shots, gaining confidence as the round goes on.
Jackson's hands are very heavy. When they land, even though it's onto the side of the head, it hurts, and he's feeling it now.
two-time world champion. Oh, look out.
What a right hand by Julian Jackson.
He's gotten hit hard, and I was always wondering just how good is his chin. And right now, it doesn't seem to be too bad.
That right missed, and a countering left. Also, a grazing blow by McCallum. Now lunging right.
Cut. Unintentional butt, and Julian is cut.
Julian Jackson complaining. There's a big left hand by McClellan.
It'll never stop a fight there.
And you know, sometimes blood ignites the killer instinct. The right hand that Julian Jackson's aiming at the body to could take it stolen 3 or 4 rounds and really debilitate Gerald McClellan.
Julian's doing his homework to the body. No doubt about that. He may be sacrificing around, but he's really putting in some shots.
Roy Jones Jr. at the 88th Golden Glove semifinals. He was disappointed as he eluded a punch. Right now, very difficult to catch is Gerald McClellan. Quite elusive.
Low blow by Julian Jackson. Oh,
that was a big heavy shot down south. Another one.
And McClellan needs a breather.
Forces you get hit down low there. Very sensitive area.
And he needs all the strength he can get and all the fluidity and reflex, and that takes your legs out from under you. Nice shot by Julian.
As he goes upstairs, no chance of south of there.
Julian got a winner right here.
Down goes Jackson.
Legs are not there. This fight could very well be over right this minute.
And there's a minute left to go. Can McClellan finish him off? He's down again. He's not going to make this. Julian Jackson doesn't. It's over.
Bill's Wayne has stopped the fight.
The winner by way of technical knockout and the new WBC Middleweight Champion of the World, the D-Man, Gerald McClellan.
Yeah, but Tony retaliated, George. Yeah, man, so these young fighters, hey, they're not going to give you an edge like that. You've got to pay them back.
Let's take another listen to the end of round 8.
See? Prince Charles initiated it, so I think that the referee may have missed it, been on the wrong side. He would have taken a point from each or not take a point at all.
I agree, George. I think he jumped the gun a little bit.
Nevertheless, it costs Tony a point and makes it still anybody's fight, or so it would appear to us, going into the 9th.
Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
Tony is doing something very interesting. He moves forward along the rope on the left side of his opponent, making him push with that left hand instead of deadening that left jab.
That's pretty subtle stuff, George.
That's what you do. You stay on that left side to make him deaden that hand so it moves a lot of the reflexes out of it. Keep moving to the left.
You go to the head in here, George, or just keep sticking to the body?
Well, Tony is doing real good. He's staying down to the body, landing good, important shots. Then he comes back up to finish it off up. Prince William is doing his fight. He's staying close. He keeps Tony away from turning that right hand over, which he likes to do. Tony ends up chopping him with it. That doesn't hurt as much as that long right hand.
Bill Cortez broke them apart momentarily. James Toney tried to keep Prince Charles Williams away with a jab. Charles just pulled him into the ropes. Right hand misses inside for Williams. Would have done some damage if it had landed.
Tony holding inside, guys. No holding inside.
You see Tony's eyes start to swell when the other guy keeps his head right on Tony's left eye. He's not dealing with punches, he's swelling them up by leaning on his head. You beat to Tony's advantage to turn the other side of his cheek, head to the other. Stay on that side for a while.
But maybe he wouldn't see what he wants to see if he did that.
But he would throw the opponent out, just do something different for a while. Old trick there, lay on the guy's eye.
Solid right hand by Tony, good left uppercut as well.
No holding inside. Come on, get him out, Doc. Get him out of there. Come on, let's go. Get him out. Get him out.
Little breathing space for Tony. He tries a left and a right. Williams misses over the top with the right, lands the left hand. Tony flurrying again just as the round came to a close.
Don't get hit, okay? You can stand open and take it. But don't punch. Okay? Don't punch. So you come on strong. All right.
I'm off on rope. Let's go. I'm not sure what I'm hearing from that corner, from Prince William's corner. Don't punch, they're saying to him. Now, either they think he's awfully tired and they want to give him a round to rest to finish strong, or I just don't get it. Let's see what they do, and we'll be able to interpret that.
I think that's exactly it. I think they want him to try to take a breather in this round and finish strong in the 11th and 12th. You think so, George?
No doubt about it. At some point or another, he had to take a breather, but this time, I don't think it's going to help him that much, because if Tony continues to win these rounds, pile up points, it's going to cost him. This round is very important. To take initiative, win it clearly, then the judges are going to have some cause to wonder.
How many points is he piling up in a tough fight to score, as Harold Letterman has pointed out, in a fight where he's lost a point because of a punch after the bell?
Yeah, but you cannot wait and then hold off, because if he wins this round convincingly, Tony, it's in the judges' hand. They're going to give it to him. I don't know where they gave him that advice.
Well, if he stays busy, he's going to win this round convincingly, because Williams appears content to listen to his corner's advice and isn't throwing as many punches as was the case before.
Too bad Tony didn't hear what Prince Williams' corner told him.
And that seems to be an acknowledgement of the fact that it's very difficult to sustain this pace under any event, but after you've taken weight off, as much as he's taken, it's even harder.
That's true. Now in Las Vegas, even though we have air conditioning here, the heat is creeping in this arena.
Unbelievable heat. It was 110 degrees outside yesterday, 110 degrees outside again today. It's a real 110. It's not the so-called dry heat that you can't feel. It's oppressive.
It was so hot I went into the sauna to cool off, Jim.
You'd sooner be in a sauna.
No doubt Prince Williams is going to try it all in the next two rounds, but hey, the judges are going to be looking at this round more than the next two rounds.
Just to confirm, incidentally, we are indoors tonight amid glorious air conditioning, but still, it's hot.
Tony is doing a job. He's landing hard shots to make Prince Williams. Make him throw some hard shots, so he'll be winning the next round.
It's the first genuinely easy round of the fight for the champion, James Toney. Williams has thrown some, but has mostly missed. Toney far busier in this round and landing effectively.
And smart enough to do a lot of faking more so than throwing punches. He'll land two shots and then fake like he's doing a lot. The judges may see that as throwing shots.
Williams seemed in the last minute of the round to realize that perhaps he was giving away too much. Went back to throwing more punches, but by that time, the damage may have been done as James Toney appears to take round 10 in what could be a very close fight.
Prince William here to make something happen.
It's Prince Charles.
Prince William, Prince Charles.
I knew we were going to get screwed up with all this Prince stuff.
Right.
He's Williams. All right, Williams comes out busier in the 11th, just as Larry Merchant suggested he would.
What's coming in with that elbow, right? What's coming in with that elbow? Let's go.
Prince William was Prince Charles' son, right?
One or the other.
Let him out there, Prince.
How does a guy from Ohio get a name like Prince?
Well, he's actually from Columbia, Mississippi.
Oh, well, that explains it.
There you have it. He was born in Columbia, Mississippi, so he's Southern royalty, Larry.
Prince Charles is starting to pick up the pace, but he's not going to get a knockout in that fashion. That 10th round was a very important round. He should have taken charge more so.
Well, he did what his corner told him to do, or so it would appear. And he's using the energy now. Tony is sticking right with him, as you see.
Tony is like some of those good basketball players. They wait for you to bump him, then they shoot. He's waiting for them. He's not, if you don't bump him, he's not going to throw a lot to you.
George, I didn't know you were a basketball aficionado.
I just learned how to bump.
Well, you're from Houston. Everybody from Houston is a basketball aficionado now.
These days,
Is there anyone who doubts that George's style would play well in the NBA the way the game is being played right now? Halfway through round 11. Solid round so far for Tony, even though Prince Charles Williams has tried to be active again. There was a good right hand inside by the champion.
Tony's very smart. He's using the power right hand in the last couple rounds.
Finding punching range now. Williams apparently too tired to go in and lean on Tony as he did throughout most of the fight, and James Tony taking maximum advantage.
Which is great because when Williams was coasting, Tony coached too. Now the coaching is over. Tony decided, I'm giving you something to add to your wasting of energy, which was very smart. He did not try to land a power punch when Williams was coasting the previous time.
Upper body movement from James Tony. He slips a punch there, ducks another one there, and keeps coming back with brilliant counter punches of his own.
It's amazing to see a young fellow that smart. It's amazing. You just don't see that often. He's young and he's crafty. I don't understand why he's got that.
Watching all those old Ezra Charles fight films.
How could he have known that Prince was hosting the previous round? Amazing. I didn't hear his corner tell him about it.
James Tony beginning to take command in round 11. Solid left-right combinations, carrying the round for the champion.
One more round like that. I want one more round like that, and we'll go away from here with our belt. Last round.
You're the man.
All right, guys, last round, we touch him up. Okay, now back him up. Touch with one hand, baby.
Touch with one hand. Keep your other hand high. Okay?
I want it. I got to have it.
Man.
All right, give me 3 minutes like that. I must have it. You the boss.
You're Hagler.
Give me 3 minutes now. You
Keep the hand moving. Let's repeat history. Let's repeat history, baby. Come on.
Mean foot jab. Bill Miller said about the Prince here that you can't cook with old grease. And right now the old grease is looking a bit like old grease.
More than anything,
Tony is doing the cooking.
He fought the wrong fight for the wrong part of it. This is the time you want to stay close in the latter round. Build up your points early on with nice long jab. You have the greater reach. You didn't do so.
Well, they were operating under the theory that you could out-hustle James Tony. Maybe you could a couple years ago or 3 years ago before he moved up to this weight where he's so comfortable, but that's awfully tough now.
You're absolutely true. This guy is not only energetic, but he is also crafty. It just doesn't go with his young age.
In the 11th round, Tony threw 90 punches to 59 for Williams. By stepping up his activity level in the second half of the fight, James Tony has seized command.
there for him.
And Tony's superior skills as a counterpuncher will play into this situation perfectly.
Both corners did a great job on fixing eyes.
Good point.
I think that William was confused. He thought that leaning on Tony would really tire him out. He didn't understand he's not a light heavyweight. He is right there the same weight.
But he didn't have any other choice, I feel, George, because Tony's skills are just too good for him from a distance.
I see it that way right now.
And I think that's entirely right. If he had fought this way from the beginning, he would have gotten taken to the cleaners. Now Williams acting a little bit. But that's okay. James Toney doesn't need the satisfaction of a knockout at this point. He's perfectly willing to surge forward, get a decision, and move toward that November 19 payday with Roy Jones Jr.
I think Tony has proven that he can box his way out of anything.
This was a heck of a test, because he faced a strategic challenge unlike anything else he's faced recently.
Yeah, and he did a lot of it on his own thinking. That's what amazes everybody. Tony is a great fighter. Now,
he adjusted in the ring, didn't he?
And his legs are strong at this point. Prince Williams got nothing to be ashamed of. This guy is a smart fighter.
Oh, what a right hand!
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We're watching a great fighter, guys. I mean, this guy took the other guy's best, his strength, his experience, a bigger man. He stuck in there with him, and then when the time came, he finished him. It's not a great crowd-pleasing fight, but boy, it was a crowd-pleasing finish.
It was everything I would like to see in a boxing match.
James Toney in his career has several knockouts past the 9th round. I don't remember for sure. I think the number is 4 or 5. He knocked out Michael Nunn to win the title in the 11th round. Here he knocks out Prince Charles Williams in the 12th round. You don't see a lot of fighters who can do it, guys. This guy sets you up over a long period of time, maintains his stamina and control.
The challenger, known as the G-Man, Gerald McClellan. Middleweight champion of the world, Julian "The Hawk" Jackson.
Expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger? Any questions from the champion? Let's get it on.
At the hook. Certainly not the case in starts in a hurry, as you can see. Nice, good.
There it is, a big right hand. McClellan was waiting with the jab and time and one.
Bang, as we said, you got to look for this guy. Top of the fight.
He himself, for just a minute there, was stumbling and staggering.
To pull off an upset.
He came out very calm, but here he is. He is attacking Julian Jackson.
And
Jackson doing some backing up, doesn't pay as much attention to defense.
Come on. He says McClellan is...
Jackson's been a little more effective now using a jab. Got to be a little more chest-like right now. The big...
But not having any effect on McClellan, who comes back strong, but back comes Jackson with a heavy. Jackson is looking ahead to Terry Norris, who is some survival here. And Gerald is back. Now this is what you call intimidation, and it's all from.
He came out winging big shots, gaining confidence as the round goes on. Yeah, his right hand seems to does it, except to the body.
Champion. Oh, look out! What a right hand by Julian Jackson. That's that right fist, that raising blow by McCallum. And Julian has got it. Julian Jackson complaining. There's a hard punches by another big right. Jackson slips. It'll never stop a fight there.
You know, sometimes blood, it can...
Round knockout. That eye. Oh, nice body shot, but right at the break. Round in his favor.
Julian Jackson's aiming at the body, too. Could take it stolen 3 or 4 rounds.
Julian's doing his... Wild miss by Joe McClellan, and
again, you see him dig up
Joe McClellan. Mighty low.
Heavy shot down south. Another one.
And McClellan needs a breather. Bill's Lane
fight.
Red 13 straight knockout victories. Here is the current WBC #1 super middleweight contender, the former middleweight record includes 39 wins, the
12 here in London.
Recovery phase.
This for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. All right. They continue to
Pretty hardy guy, and he just doesn't stop coming.
count of 9 to get back into the ring. Title defense. He almost with tremendous heart.
McClellan's waiting too long to let the other guy get
double park. Many first round
so that his arms would come down. McClellan told you, but he hadn't done that.
One who has gone the distance. McClellan who hasn't gone past round 8 in his career.
He's got cobwebs in his head. Like
yeah, throwing vicious lefts and rights. Combination by Ben. Cheering from the outset. A left and a left is the Nigel Ben. 16.
Up, but it was a good butt.
Right hand.
McClellan's got to make it go the other way. Look at that.
He's just not used to going there.
You know, the last time he lost 11 pounds.
Oh, a few rounds, and it finally goes out. They're still going at it.
That's why. But look where the mouthpiece is. Yeah, it goes out. I mean, how can he keep it? He looks like he's losing heart.
Less than 30 seconds left in the 7th. McClellan sometimes.
But he missed both times. That's against him, not for him. Get him. Go. Look at this fight, he said to him. You're too far ahead. Well, he's not that far ahead, pal.
Got a second win between.
If this is the same one. Now that one got. Now that guy, that was hit. That was a hit. It isn't enough to knock him down. Now that misses. That misses. Could be that punch whips him down. This is an absolute resignation. He's down. That's all. He is on his back. He's stretched out to do, by the way.